Plus, we learned that De'Aaron Fox is an all-star. Are you kidding me? Plus, you got the Super Bowl Sunday. The Kings playing probably their two biggest games of the season, starting tonight at Golden One Center against the Mavs, and then tomorrow night against those same Mavericks. I'm Deuce Mason. That's Morgan Reagan. Happy Friday, Mo.
Happy Friday. It's a great day. At first I woke up really happy. I'm telling you without you even asking me. At first I woke up really happy because Luka and Kyrie were in town. And I was like, oh, big time, big game. Let's go. Oh, and we have an update.
Hold on. Let's see if it's an official update.
Okay.
We have an update from Shams. Luka tells reporters today he felt some pain in his heel during the workout tonight. He is unlikely to play against the Kings.
What?
Which Shams would have told me that before that update.
Yeah. So this just came out moments ago, just a few minutes ago. Shams had reported earlier this morning that he was expected to make his return, but Luka telling reporters he will not likely play tonight against the Kings. But that still means Kyrie Irving tonight, who had 24 points in his debut against the Clippers, a Mavs win on the road, by the way. So the Kings still have to deal with Kyrie Irving. So huge game tonight. Kings up 2 games on the Dallas Mavericks, but we got a giant show, Morgan.
Yeah, I was just saying how I woke up happy about this, but yeah, please proceed.
Coming up today on the show at noon, we're expected to hear from Kings general manager Monte McNair. He'll be talking to reporters live about what did or did not go down at the trade deadline. The Kings making that one move for Kessler Edwards. Also, we're going to have a Kings roundtable at 1 p.m. Frankie Cardicelli, who, of course, does amazing work at Sactown Sports, posting stuff literally nonstop about the Kings. Such great content you can find on the app and at sactownsports.com. Plus, Chris Watkins will be in studio as well. He hosts Kings Weekly Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports. So, Morgan, we have that. Kyrie in town to take on the Kings. Luka unlikely to play. In addition to that, we just found out within the last hour that De'Aaron Fox officially named a Western Conference All-Star. That's big-time stuff.
Dude,
that's big-time stuff.
Super excited. That was the next reason why, I didn't wake up to that news, but obviously coming into the station with that news, I feel really happy. He deserves it. It's been a long time coming. It's great.
It's been a long time since the Kings had 2 All-Stars, too. I mean, you have to go back to like Peja and Miller. I know Peja and Weber did it before. Weber and Vlade did it before. But it hasn't happened a lot. Those names, we're talking like 20 years. So the fact that De'Aaron has been officially named as an injury replacement on the All-Star team is a big deal. He wasn't the only one. Anthony Edwards also named. And then in the Eastern Conference, Pascal Siakam was named. He'll be replacing Kevin Durant, I guess, who's now in the West, which is weird. And he is not playing in the All-Star game.
So weird.
Let's talk about this for Fox, though, and what this means. Because a little over a year ago, before the Halliburton trade happened, a lot of people were down on De'Aaron Fox.
Oh,
a lot
yes.
of people wondering if he was the guy. So many people were upset, like, oh, man, they chose Fox instead of Halliburton at the deadline. People were really down. He was in year 5. People wanted to see a leap. They wanted to see wins. They did not see that. We fast forward a year. The Kings have not one, but 2 All-Stars, including Fox. Halliburton's an All-Star with Indiana. You could make the case that those 3 players would not be All-Stars if they were still in their current spots.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy to think about. When you think about De'Aaron Fox as an All-Star, what do you think made him an All-Star in your eyes this year?
I think his ability to, I mean, that's super specific, but his ability to get to his spots and make the shot, right? We saw after so many years, his reputation was being one of the fastest players in the league. But what was he going to do with that speed? How was he going to capitalize on having that athleticism, that speed? And this year, he took it to a whole nother level by becoming efficient, by being able to tell opposing defenses, I'm going to go there and I'm going to make this shot. It doesn't matter if you're in my way or not. He's been able to do that on such a high level. And then on top of that, you shove it in the fourth quarter and you realize how important of a player he is, how impactful of a player he is in a fourth quarter against the best teams and the worst teams. I think those are the things that really put him over the edge with so many people that have a vote and have been watching the NBA.
I think the other thing is all aspects of his game have improved. You know, it's more efficient, better free throw percentage too. It's his defense, his leadership. And oh, by the way, the Kings are winning games. So you add all that together, it makes sense. I mean, I thought he should have been an all-star before. It doesn't matter. He's in the game now, and the Kings, who would have thought a year ago we'd be like, hey, Kings fans, I know this team's lost like 7 in a row, but trust me, this time next year, you'll have 2 all-stars. No one would have believed it, and that's what makes sports amazing. Sometimes you can't predict it.
Me, you, and Chris, we were in the other room before the show started, and I was like making some graphic or something and just putting the Kings have 2 NBA all-stars. And I was like, you guys, this is really cool right now. This is cool to be typing this out. This is cool to be talking about this. And I think for a lot of other people that cover this league and cover really good teams and are used to covering wins and all-stars and the top players in the league, like they become jaded a little bit, right? You don't realize, you go, oh, that's great for the organization. That's great for the city. But truly, here in Sacramento, how I felt today with that announcement of De'Aaron Fox, I just felt super proud. It feels really good to finally feel like we are in that conversation. I say we because it feels like all of us that have consumed this product for so long and have battled through all the bad times to stick around for all these good moments.
So you're Sacramento proud?
I'm hashtag Sacramento proud.
And these 2 join not a ton of other all-stars in the Kings 38 years in Sacramento. You had Mitch multiple times. You had Chris Webber. You had Vlade. You had Peja. You had Brad Miller.
Okay.
And then you had DeMarcus Cousins. You add De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis to the list. I think it's cool. It acknowledges, one, we how long have we been just watching All-Star weekends? It's like, hey, well, the Kings have someone in the Rising Stars game.
Yeah.
Now they've got 2 players in the actual game, and it's just fun. It's awesome, and I think it's a moment, like you said, that like if you're a Kings fan today, you should be proud. You should be excited. You should be grateful that the Kings drafted an All-Star, right? That's the other thing. Like Sabonis was not drafted by the Kings, and they haven't drafted a lot of All-Stars, right?
Nope.
Peja was the one, DeMarcus, and now De'Aaron Fox.
Okay, here's my question. Going into this season, since you and I have obviously been covering this team pretty close for a while now, every year with De'Aaron, I would feel this hope with him, and I'd be like, could this be the year? And then each year you'd see maybe something improve, but then he just wouldn't stay consistent. Before this year started, were you going into this season going, I think this could be the year De'Aaron can be an all-star?
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing with the Kings and all-star chances, it was simple. If you win, I think it's because Fox and Sabonis are playing good basketball. And if you're winning and they're playing good basketball, they're going to have a shot at the all-star game. You know, Sabonis has obviously done it before, his 3rd appearance. I just thought, hey, if Fox plays well and the Kings are legitimately like above 500, they're going to have a shot. You know, that's how I looked at it. I mean, we start talking about all-stars, and De'Aaron, even if he didn't make the all-star team, he's an all-star caliber player in this league. A guy that gets you 25 a game, who's efficient, gets to the mid-range game. You mentioned the clutch numbers in the fourth quarter. I'm like, that guy's a stud.
Yeah.
Right? But to be named, to actually get that honor, you got to win a little bit. I think, especially when you're in Sacramento and there's been so much losing, you have to give these voters a reason to put you in. And then Silver, who had them ultimately make the decision on the replacements, you got to know what's going on in your league. And he knew guys like Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron Fox, they deserve to be in.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that they're getting the recognition that they deserve. And I think the most interesting thing about all of this, though, is that you're seeing this season with the Kings have two guys named NBA All-Stars now. You have them third in the Western Conference, and then you have just crap hit the fan, right? With everything that happened at trade deadline.
Yeah,
and I
dude.
say that because even today, while I'm listening to some national basketball podcasts, not a mention of the Sacramento Kings when talking about, teams in the West and what playoffs and what teams are going to do.
Yeah, I think most people look at Sacramento in that number 3 spot right now and go, yeah, that's cute. It's a good story, but that's not going to stay that way. And the Kings have to go out and prove it wrong. We're going to hear from Mike Brown because Mike Brown had some things to say about the trade deadline and what's next for the Kings. Jay Triano did a great interview with Cattles and Rami yesterday where he talked about almost a sense of relief that the Kings did not make a move.
Love it.
Kevin Herter had some things to say, too, about the trade deadline from the morning show today. We got a jam-packed show. We're on until 2. Don't miss it. Noon, we're supposed to hear from Monte McNair. 1 o'clock, Kings Roundtable, and we always stay live at youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. It's Deuce and Mo on a Friday. Hey, YouTube chat. Oh, 300 people are here? I'm sorry, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah, what are we doing? Oh, we're hitting the thumbs up. That's what we're doing.
Why? Why, Maury? Tell me why.
Because it helps the channel grow.
Why does it help the channel grow?
Because it helps people recognize the channel in other places.
Thank you. It shows up in their faces on their YouTube feeds. So you hit the thumbs up because you want to have live and local content from 6A to 6P. Let's keep it moving. We had like 900 plus yesterday because it was draft day. It was insane. Our record-breaking audience for the station. But let's get it moving today. Let's get to the triple-digit marks.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Why not?
Yeah,
there
why
we
not?
go. Triple-digit mark.
Or do you feel hungover?
Okay.
Not
I feel
from drinking, but just from trade deadline?
a little bit.
I do too.
But I also feel like, and tell me if this ever I've never had this happen to me. I ate an entire burrito before this, and I was I'm so full.
You didn't eat it; you housed it.
Yeah, no, like that was within 6 minutes. I ate the entire thing, and then Jason goes, "Oh, and there's crumble cookies in here." And I'm like, "I'm so full, but okay." And now I feel like I might die. I've never felt so heavy in this moment, and not like physically, like my everything in my body, my brain, mentally, physically.
Stand by.
Who am I?
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Oh, yeah. Because it's real now. And I told our group this. It's easy, in my opinion. This is my opinion. It's easy to kind of get to where we are if you play hard or compete. If you're organized, and nothing where if you can stay a little healthy, you can have a chance during the regular season to kind of sit in a playoff position. But going into the All-Star break and then coming out of it, let's see who can step up and get it done.
Ooh. Okay, Mike Brown. If I'm in that locker room and I hear that message, I'm getting amped up tonight because it's the Kings and the Mavericks. Kings with a 2-game lead on the Dallas Mavericks. Mike Brown saying it's real now. Oh, it's cute we got there. We're 31-23, number 3 seed. But this is real now. We're playing meaningful games from here on out, and you better buckle up and be ready to go, Kings.
Yeah, that's actually what he really meant to say with that little media scrum. My goodness, Mike Brown, I don't care what he says when he says it. It pumps me up. I mean, we saw it even after the other night when I forget what game it was. I think it was after a loss, and he was talking about how they need to try and find ways to be all in if they really want to be a playoff team, and that it's fool's gold if they're not going to execute certain teams against or execute certain things against certain teams. My goodness.
I am sorry. I was just getting a text. We may be having a big time guest calling in just a little bit.
Really?
I'm trying to get some confirmation on that. I don't want to speak because I've talked too much about potential guests and then they don't come through. I'm just trying to be careful here.
Yeah, you be careful with that life. Come on.
Is it Patrick Mahomes?
It is not Patrick Mahomes. Could be NBA All-Star, though.
Oh, ayo. I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, it's getting real for sure, Morgan Reagan. We're supposed to hear from Monte McNair at noon. So we will be ready for that. And who knows what the hell else is going to happen right here tonight. And I say tonight, today, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the way around.
Is everyone feeling okay out there today? I feel like everyone that was experiencing NBA trade deadline, that was a historic, crazy NBA trade deadline. Like, I went to the coffee shop. I went to the coffee shop this morning, huh? And even behind the counter, they're talking like, was yesterday crazy or what? And it's like, yeah, that was insane. Didn't know you even watched basketball. This is great. It just, everyone was on a different level yesterday. And same with me.
Let's talk more about the NBA trade deadline hangover we're all experiencing. Mike Brown, what was your reaction to all the moves in your own division?
Crazy. I've been around a long time. I don't know if I've seen one division have as many trades as our division. And the reality of it is all those teams got better. They brought in high caliber players, and is it going to be tougher? Yes. I mean, I ain't going to sit here and try to say, oh, no, it's going to be tougher, But we got to bring our hard hats and strap our boots up and get after it.
Strap our boots up. Let's go.
Be honest about it. He knows that the Clippers got better by those trades they made with Plumlee, with Eric Gordon, with Bones Highland. He knows the Lakers.
Yeah.
Talk about dramatic makeover for that team. Yeah, Mo Bamba, Rui. Oh, I don't know. Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell. They reshaped their team. The Golden State Warriors, I don't know if the Warriors got better. They got different. Getting GP2 back is huge, but they're kind of embracing
all
complete small ball.
Yeah.
And he can help them for sure. Wiseman was not helping, but they saved money too. You're right.
Saved a lot of money. I mean, it was a money move. But also in the mix of everything, they ended up getting a guy back that knows their system, loves their system. Steve Kerr has always loved GP2. It's just a great energy guy to have back on your squad when you are where you are.
What team makes you most nervous about their moves in your own division? I mean, the Suns get Kevin Durant. That's a pretty big deal in your division too. Let's not ignore that one.
Yeah.
I just put the Suns ahead of the Kings just based on that deal if they're healthy, obviously. So I get more concerned about threats to the Kings' playoff chances. And to me, I'm looking more so at like the Clippers. I think the Clippers got better.
They 100% got better. And that's even, and you're talking about teams underneath, because I keep going back to how they traded away Luke Kennard, and I just think that was a fantastic move for the Memphis Grizzlies. Just, they have Desmond Bane who can shoot it from the outside, but just having more weapons from the outside is definitely huge. But going back to the Clippers and what you're saying, getting rid of Reggie Jackson, I mean, wherever you want to go with that. But then you look at the rest of their squad, and they're a team that I feel like can figure it out in the second half of the season, especially if Kawhi is starting to play more and more games. You said it yesterday. It was like last 15 of 17 or 18 games that he's been playing. I mean, this is when teams turn it on.
I also think for the Clippers too, with their kind of like championship aspirations. Obviously, when they got Kawhi and Paul George, I was planning, hey, we're going to be championship contenders. We may win a few of them. Well, they've been completely underwhelming for a variety of reasons, whether it's shortcomings, injuries, team not working out, whatever. But getting some legit size, they already have Zubats, who's a solid big. You add Plumlee to the fold.
Plumlee's huge.
You have a couple of guys you can throw at Denver now with Jokic. Yeah. And then if you go to the Eastern Conference Finals, you can match up a little bit more with the Celtics size, with Embiid.
Dude, that's exactly.
The Bucks.
I mean, you even look at the Eric Gordon, adding Eric Gordon, I think sometimes he doesn't get the love that he deserves because he's been in Houston. He's been rotting away in Houston. And now he gets to not only share that veteran presence that he can bring, but he still has a lot more to add.
Hey, if you're in the live chat right now, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button at youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. If you're driving around, make sure to check out the YouTube feed too. Download the free Sactown Sports app or go to youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140, where you could be with all these wild animals in the chat, just chatting away about the NBA, whatever else comes up from these douchebags and morons watching us live. Yeah, I mean, the Clippers moves are nice. I don't know. having some time to process everything. It's been 24 hours now. I'm not freaking out totally about what happened around the Kings. The West was going to be hard no matter what. Like, obviously, the Suns have catapulted themselves into the conversation as legit championship threat if they're healthy.
Yeah.
The Clippers were going to be in the mix no matter what, right?
Ooh.
I think the team that, the Lakers getting better, that makes me nervous. And I think some people are saying, like, well, what's it matter because they're not going to pass the Kings? It's not even about that. I'm just thinking about how challenging this Kings schedule could be down the stretch and how they handle things. And hell, they may do great. Maybe this is just what they need back home, a couple of big games against Dallas. Like, it is going to be a challenge. And I just don't want this Kings team to land in the play-in. You start getting the play-in game, that's when anything can happen. Then you're taking on LeBron in the play-in game. That's where I get nervous.
Hey, and Deuce, we keep talking about the games against like the Pelicans, for example, when that was supposed to be the easy one because they didn't have any of their guys playing. Those are the games that you are going to look back on and go, man, if only we had that win and had that cushion. So then we're not playing so-and-so in a play-in game, especially as all these teams keep on creeping up, and up. And then you look at a weekend like this against the Mavs. And I know
this
now,
is huge.
Shams put out as soon as we started the show that basically Luka is doubtful for tonight. Most likely not going to play. However, he worded that. Sure, whatever. But no matter what, they're playing the Mavs, this Mavs team in the Western Conference 2 nights in a row, back to back. And these are the moments that you want to learn something from, that you're going to experience something that is supposed to make you better as a team. So how are you going to face this type of challenge? They need to, no matter what, gain something from these next 2 games.
Could be a swing. You got to get at least one. That's the biggest thing. You have to get one this weekend. You lose 2. It's danger time, right?
Yeah, it is.
That could flip. You could go from 3 to 6 this weekend.
Path.
But if you win both,
What?
Dallas. Come on, you're 4 games back now. All of a sudden, that's how big this is.
Rest.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. We have so much more to get to on the show. Expected to hear from Monte McNair and his press conference coming up at noon. Also, a Kings roundtable at 1 p.m. And who knows? We may have a big-time guest rolling through this hour. We'll find out. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Don't say it.
I mean,
Don't say
what
it.
I got was he's good to call in.
And then?
Give him like 20 or 30 minutes.
Oh.
He's going to shower and change call in his car.
We've already done this, though.
We'll find out.
Deuce, don't get excited because we've already done this with him.
We'll find out.
And then we waited a long, full day.
And then Pascal Siakam is calling in after he takes a shower.
Yeah. How'd you know?
He said All-Star.
I used my 1 day off in the last 3 weeks.
So, yeah. And here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
This is when I hate radio.
Yeah.
Because of all these commercials, right?
Thank you.
What are our options, Chris, if the person called in at 35?
You push the commercial. What are we saying?
But here's the problem. We have Monte McNair at noon, and that's going to be a big
chunk of a commercial. Like, who cares?
The Brian guy could care, man.
No, but Brian's actually like, he's smart and young and has evolved.
Hey, we just so you know, we get paid by having commercials on there.
I know, and I appreciate commercials. Deuce, we do the same thing with our small business. We
have 14 minutes of commercials an hour on our small.
No, but my point is
let me talk to Chris, because you are like, blow out all the commercials. We don't work in a business like that, so that's not happening.
I'm not saying blow out all the commercials. I'm just saying move them.
I would say that you can continue talking to this person
during the break. That's what we do. What we do. We continue it during the break. And it sucks for the radio people, but I'd rather not break.
Yeah.
But we have to. So,
if it was at the top of the hour, it'd be easier to move around, but
yeah.
Oh, also, can you email me that link for the press conference?
Yeah. Kings.com/live.
Y'all are crazy.
Oh, thank you.
What?
No, I said y'all are
And
crazy.
I should be
Who,
able
us?
to put that on the to
You-
share that.
You
so,
should be able
yeah.
to. And I'm gonna just check to see if it's on YouTube as well, because I don't know if that would be easier. Oh, it is going to be on YouTube. I don't know if that's easier to pull up for you, Chris. I'll send you a link. Don't you love when we're trying to figure stuff out during a break?
I mean, that's how most shows figure stuff out. We're
No,
just
but
not-
like live.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
still on YouTube. By the way, Morgan, I from the other day,
Oh,
if you
nice,
scroll
nice.
down,
Let
I
me
have
do
a
that.
list.
I forgot we did that. Yeah, because that
So.
whole Saturday we waited around.
You've only mentioned that 7 times, so cool.
So would you do this Saturday, Morgan?
No, last Saturday I waited
What'd you
around
do
on my
last
one
Saturday,
day
Morgan?
off.
It's going to be loud tonight, says Patrick. Yeah. Hey, if you're in the chat and you have not hit the thumbs up, I see 400 plus people here. That's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Thanks, everyone.
We should be at 300 thumbs up. I would love to get to 400. I'm not getting greedy, but make sure to hit that thumbs up. It just helps us grow.
All right, this coffee is helping my burrito body. I'm so full. That's funny.
I saw that. Jose says Fox and All-Star. Literally, I'm excited. I love when people are just finding out.
Oh, that's really cool.
Luke says, who hasn't showered yet at 11:30? Probably NBA players who just went through a warm-up and workout this morning. They have to shower after. You want them to just be nasty all day?
Yeah, Anthony Edwards has to shower after his workout.
Man.
Man,
Strange that we're talking to him.
Can't wait to talk to
How crazy would it be? It's like, hey, we have an all-star checking in, and let's welcome to the show, Julius Randle. Hey, Julius. What's it mean?
Too funny. Yeah, you know what, Deuce, and just to be transparent, I'm really sorry if I didn't have energy at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, one, energy, two, you guys doing the whole commercial, blow through the commercial thing. Just being unrealistic today. You just need a reset. If you're a computer, I'd be like, let me restart this. Let me just, okay. Maybe it needs an update. Well, so just so you know.
So when some
I say, saved by the update. Stand by.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports headlines. We start with big news. De'Aaron Fox has been named an all-star reserve replacement along with Toronto's Pascal Siakam and Minnesota's Anthony Edwards. The Kings are back at home tonight where they will host the Dallas Mavericks. This will be the first game of a back-to-back against the Mavs. And according to Shams Charania, Luka Doncic, who was expected to return tonight, has told reporters that he felt some pain during a workout and is unlikely to play. You can listen to tonight's game with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. The Super Bowl is finally here. Sort of. It's not here right now, but it will be this weekend. This Sunday, the Chiefs and the Eagles will kick off for the NFL Championship game, where the Eagles, as of right now, are favored by 1.5 points.
The NFL Championship game?
Yes, the NFL
The Super
Championship
Bowl?
game. The Super Bowl is the NFL Championship game.
Who calls it the NFL Championship game?
I just did.
No one does that.
I just called it the NFL Championship game.
Okay. Fair.
You can listen to the NFL Championship game, also known as the Super Bowl, right here on Sactown Sports with pregame starting at 11. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
Go ahead. Chris is so jacked up for the NFL Championship
It is the NFL Championship game.
I mean, let's be honest.
Do you think Fox on Sunday they're going to open up their broadcast? Welcome to our coverage of the NFL Championship game.
Who
No.
won the Super Bowl last year?
You guys, let's be honest. People are not saying, hey, I'm having an NFL championship game party. You guys want to come?
The Super Bowl.
Sorry,
just to be
Chris.
clear, the
And
Super
I
Bowl.
hate
And
him.
I said the Super Bowl.
hate Deuce right now.
But
and
as
I-
you know, when you're doing updates, you can't keep saying the same thing over and over again. I can't say the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is here. The Super Bowl is coming this Sunday. Make sure you pay attention to the Super Bowl.
I also love that we are just ready to pounce on anyone's mistakes. It's like, oh yes, do something. Do something.
We love
And
it.
It's not even a mistake, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
you're
anything
doing the
that's a
same
flaw.
thing with me. You're the one that's actually, Chris, we should be teaming up on Deuce because he's the one that's pouncing on all of our mistakes.
Whatever you do, don't sneeze in front of Deuce.
Oh, God, I don't even want to know.
Hey, it's Deuce Mason. It's Morgan Reagan. Christopher Loud is the other voice. It's Deuce and Mo. We're on Monday through Friday right here, 11 to 2 p.m. Pacific time on Sactown Sports. We appreciate everyone being here, hanging out with us. Monte McNair's press conference. We plan on carrying that live at noon. Then get ready. 1 p.m. a Kings Roundtable. Chris Watkins, Frankie Cardicelli will join us in studio and maybe some surprises along the way.
Ooh.
We'll find out in a bit. So, you know what I'm worried about? Can I just be super transparent?
Yeah, well,
with our
that's all we
audience?
do. Yeah.
All right. So there's a chance that we may be talking to an NBA All-Star. Okay.
Julius Randle.
No. My concern, I feel like what's going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
the All-Star's going to call in at like 11:55 right before Monte McNair's press conference.
We stay on at 11:55 through the break. And
What do we do?
No, you guys, this is what can we just listen to me for once? Like, I'm done with you guys and your stupid rules. This is what we're going to do. If that were the case, we carry him. We don't go to commercial break. Just hear me out. Then we come back, go to commercial break, start the Monty stream. So we're like, even if we're a minute delayed, 2 minutes delayed on Monty, we start that. And there you go.
Yeah, that's simple. That's simple.
It's
Okay.
that simple.
We'll figure it all out. I was listening to Cattles and Romney yesterday.
Yeah.
And I love every week they have like an assistant coach on, which is great. And they had Jay Triano on, who's one of my favorites. I love Jay
He's
Triano,
so great.
who has NBA coaching experience. He was asked about the deadline. I thought his comments were really interesting.
Ooh.
You can hear the full interview at SactownSports.com or go to the YouTube page and check it out. But here's what Jay Triano had to say about the NBA trade deadline. The Kings being relatively quiet.
There's a sense of relief in a way that we didn't do anything so that we can continue working with our players. And we like what we have right now. I think over the years, I've probably felt it a couple times going both ways, where guys were, lost confidence because maybe you brought somebody in as their replacement. They started looking over their shoulder, but also, we've done things where guys go, you know what, they like us. They like where we are. They feel confident in us. And, the one thing that, Coach Brown did right off the bat was he identified roles for everybody. And I think that our guys understand their role right now. Obviously, sometimes the role changes and it's based on merit, whether they've been playing well. Coach has been completely honest with players. He won't play you if you're not playing well. He will play you if you're playing well. I just like the vibe of where we are as a group right now. And, to bring somebody in right now might have been, disruptive for some of our players. Trying to figure out personalities and what this guy likes or he doesn't like, or, I don't know. I'm we're starting to move a little bit. I like the direction we're going. I would hate to have taken a step back here.
Interesting comments. That's just from a member of the coaching staff who works with these players, has good feel for these players, saying, I've got a sense of relief. I kind of like what we have going, and let's see how we come together in these final, 30 games of the season.
One of my favorite things about Jay Triano is that he seems like a very genuine, nice human. And I think when he has comments like that too, he has the belief in the guys that he has been around for quite some time now. And I don't blame him for having that faith in those guys and believing that they can have success right now with those guys as well. But at the same time too, there's going to come a time when his heart's going to be broken. Other guys' hearts are going to be broken. And it's just part of the business, whether it's in the middle of the season, whether it's adding a guy from the buyout market and it changes around things. You just got to be able to move on the fly in this business, especially when you're a team that has to make tweaks throughout the season.
Yeah. And I get how he feels about it. I mean, it's an interesting perspective. I think the coaching staff sees these signs of growth. I mean, even defensively, the Kings have had some awful moments, especially in those Rockets games, right? But then there's like these glimpses you see at the end of the game where they have like 3 huge stops.
Yeah.
From Monk steal from Şengün, Fox steals it from Green. Keegan's charge in that game. That's like 3 big moments at the end of a game. And so I think what the coaches are looking at is like, hey, we are capable of doing it. Can we just string more together? And like just more time with this group, we may be able to do it. So anyway, it's just an interesting perspective from a member of the Kings coaching staff.
Yeah, I love the mindset. And I completely understand it at the same time too. What are they going to do when that tweak is made?
Right.
Like, are they going to be mentally prepared for those moments? These coaches have been through it all. I'm sure they will.
All right, we're going to break down a little bit early just in case our super guest comes through. Coming up at noon, Monte McNair's press conference. We are always live on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. It's Deuce and Mo. All right. Just in case. That way, if he's in, it's like, boom, we take him. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
It's just funny when
What?
Nothing. I'm not saying you. I'm just like, curse this format.
TV's got the same thing.
I know.
Your TV, you do TV too.
Trust me.
You guys break.
Dude, sometimes that's what I do love about the post game for NBC. We have a lot more flexibility to be like, hey, if we have so-and-so on, they just keep carrying it.
Yeah.
They just go. And I'm like,
well, I mean, we have some flexibility here.
No,
I think
sure.
one thing too, Chris, just for some behind the scenes stuff, if this person calls in and it feels like, like we're going to break a little late, we could, because it's on YouTube, we could go back and start Monty's press conference, right? You know what I mean? It's on demand, so we could just do it that way. So just throwing a line, Chris.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, here you go, Chris, take it.
You are the real MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a football player, you'd be playing in the NFL championship.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're like the
I wouldn't be
Patrick
playing in the
Mahomes.
NFL championship. I would be playing the Super Bowl, which is the NFL championship.
Oh, thank you. So stupid.
PBTV, why are they allowed to go for an hour with no breaks? I don't know, man. I don't know how they're able to do that sometimes. I envy that. I definitely envy that. I mean, we could stay on live during.
That's what
breaks,
we do.
For sure.
Yeah.
But you have to actually take them.
Oh man, I forgot to tell you this, but seems like a good time to tell you now.
Sure.
So you saw what Jason was wearing earlier, right?
Yeah.
So I came in here and Nate was doing the board, and I look in, I just see a guy with a hat on, and I'm like, who's that in the studio? And Nate thought I was messing with him, and I'm just like, no, who is it? And he's like, it's Jason. And I'm like, oh my God.
It is weird. You don't see Jason Ross wear a hat often.
No.
Yeah.
I think he looks great in a hat.
I mean, like, the world would stop turning if at the same spot Jason was wearing a hat and Sean was not wearing a hat.
Oh, no.
That would be like, oh, we're in a different universe.
Right. Yes. No. Multiverse status. Yes.
What would you do though? Like, what would be more jarring? Jason and Sean without a hat, or Jason coming in with like hair again, like he had,
like long enough to where he's combing it.
I would say Sean without a hat.
like Bieber from 2012.
Oh, Jason with hair.
Wow. No, it would be Sean without a hat for sure. Bye, Nate. Have a great day.
Yeah, see you later, Nate.
Have you seen Sean without a hat?
Yes.
Yeah,
that is jarring.
Have you seen?
I don't think it's jarring at all.
Sean Cunningham without a hat is Buzz from Home Alone today.
What? I think.
No, seriously. If you looked up Buzz from Home Alone today, like Buzz Home Alone, 2022,
or Buzz from the Home Alone on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Either,
terrible. and Sean Cunningham, you'd be like, oh, they're related? Is that his brother?
I've seen him without a hat. He looks fine.
It's like Keegan and Chris Murray. That's
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
You guys are ridiculous.
Corey says, hey, you guys go straight through commercials. Do you guys ever feel like just chilling for a minute and getting your bearings back? Yeah, that was something a lot of people have been asking us lately.
Yeah.
No, not really. What's the point?
Going through commercials helps us keep the flow of the show. You know, it's like when you stop, then you have to come back and it's like, oh, back. Ah.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
Oh, yes, it is. Deuce Mason, Morgan, Reagan on a Friday. Got a lot going on.
Yes.
We got a lot going on today.
Woo.
Feels like the basketball world has their attention on Sacramento.
Oh.
Probably more so because Kyrie Irving's in town playing for the Dallas Mavericks. Luka unlikely to play with the heel issue. It sounds like he tried to work out and was like, I kind of feel pain. I don't know what that means for tomorrow for Luka because these two teams play in a back-to-back. Kings don't care. You got to win games. You got to figure out a way to win. But we are also talking about the news today that De'Aaron Fox has officially been named by Adam Silver to the NBA All-Star Game.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, of course you
And
can.
just because we're being transparent throughout this entire show, you might as well be transparent again. Tonight I will be hosting with Matt Barnes on NBC Sports California. Tomorrow I will be hosting with you.
Yeah.
Would you honestly prefer that Luka comes back when you're hosting?
I don't care.
Okay.
As long as they win when I'm up there.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Right?
No, that's fair.
That's what I want. Win both.
Yeah.
I don't care who's there. And that's the thing. The Kings have gotten the benefit of playing some teams who are missing guys a lot. The Kings have been one of probably the healthiest team in terms of games missed in the league. And I think that's very significant. You know what I mean? Like Sabonis has been fighting through it. All these teams have guys missing a ton of time.
Yeah, I think that's something that's been huge for a lot of people when they're trying to break down and analyze these teams and who they really are. We were just talking about the Los Angeles Clippers, and it's one of those things too, when healthy, if healthy. Same with the Suns. I think there's so many of us that have been like, oh my God, they are contenders now. This is crazy to see. But at the same time, how many times are we going to be saying, even toward the end of the season, when healthy, those three are great out there.
Right.
Or four, I guess you could say too.
By the way, De'Aaron Fox just wrapping up with the media today. He was asked how it feels to be an All-Star. He says it feels good. He also notes it's something that should have happened already. I love it. He adds that he's appreciative and says it's good for the team and the Kings organization. That's from our very own Frankie Cardicelli, who, of course, covers the Kings on SactownSports.com and will be in studio with us. Yeah, I mean, I think Fox should feel that way. I like it. It's like, yeah, I probably should have been before. I put up numbers, but now we're winning and I'm getting that attention.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers are translating into wins, and I think that's the most important part when you look at this situation. And hopefully tonight he's going to have one of those nights because Kyrie, second game with his new squad, dropping 24 on his first game, beating the Clippers. Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting because Mike Brown was asked by our buddy Brendan Nunez yesterday after practice just about blitzing more because they did blitz Jalen Green a little bit. And
it worked.
Is that something that he would want to do more often? Mike Brown's like, no, I do not. I don't like blitzing. He does not like doing it. He goes, but when guys are cooking, sometimes you don't have a choice, but it puts us in such a bad spot when we blitz because you know, you're 4-3 and you got to make sure everything's got to be locked in. You know, I imagine if Kyrie does get it going tonight, maybe you send some blitzes. But here's the problem is Kyrie's a different level, right? Like we talk about Jalen Green, who's such a talented player in the NBA. He's a young guy that can make mistakes still, right? Kyrie, you blitz, he makes the right decisions. I mean, even if you want to get the ball out of his hands, he can get it out fast and it could be a big deal.
That's exactly it. You think about that and how they are, especially with making just quick decisions. They're just elite players.
I think we might have our guest right now.
Really?
I think he is here. Oh, this is a big deal.
Oh my God.
Surprise
we got
of all
a thumbs
surprises.
Up?
We got a surprise. Let's not waste any time. For the first time, let's welcome in someone who is now a 3-time All-Star. He's one of 2 All-Stars for the Sacramento Kings after De'Aaron Fox was named for the first time on this show. Let's welcome in the big fella, Domantas Sabonis. How you doing, Domas?
Hey, what's up, guys? Good. How are you?
Dude, we are good. Congratulations. I mean, we haven't talked to you since you made the All-Star team. I know it's the 3rd time. You're such a team guy. I get all that. But, I mean, when you reflect back on the fact that you're an All-Star for the 3rd time, you probably dreamt about that as a kid. When you reflect on that, how does that make you feel?
It's crazy, it's definitely something pretty cool, and to do it this time, representing the Kings, just makes it more special.
Yeah, we always talk about just what a great feel for the game you have, and you're always talking on both ends, getting the ball moving, very vocal. Where do you get your feel from the game from?
I don't know. I just feel like you've been taught to play the right way at a young age, and I don't know. People say it might be from my dad or something. It just happens. People ask sometimes, like, how do you know? How do you know that? I don't know. It just happens. It just happens on the court, Can't really explain it.
It must be nice to just be great at something.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't know. I just have this.
It's
my ability. You mentioned your dad, and like when we saw him in the NBA, it was more toward the backside of his career. But God, he was so good. Everyone talks about how talented of a player he was, and if he would have come over early, what he would have been in the NBA. How often is your dad hitting you up? Like, does he text you a lot? Does he give you feedback on your game? Like, what's that like with your dad?
He actually watches 95% of every game. Either he stays up late and watches, or he's here visiting me. And then after every game we talk. So it's nice having you in my corner to help me out.
Is he hard on you? Like, does he ever like really critique you?
Not much growing up, and now it's more we just critique the game.
It's funny because Lorraine Fox has called into our show, and we asked her kind of the same thing about, hey, after losses, like, do you hit up De'Aaron? And she's like, oh, no. But when they win, I'll give him a text about lighting the beam. So it's always fun to see what parents do. But Domas, about your game, you take so much pride in it. You seem like you play with so much joy when you're out there on the floor. Are you a big film guy? What is it when you're not playing on the floor that you're doing to better your game?
Yeah, I watch a lot of film. I always watch every game right after the game, either on the road, on the plane, or at home. Just like to study. It's so much easier when you can see it visually. Then you might see something on the court and you're like, oh wow, this was completely open. Why didn't I do that, or why didn't I see that? So definitely do watch a lot of film.
I want to ask you about your teammate, De'Aaron Fox. I was irritated last week because I'm like, this guy should have been an All-Star. Like, he should have been named. Yeah. The good news is he was named as an injury replacement today. You've had a chance to play with him for almost a year now. What has impressed you most about his development and now that he's an All-Star?
No, it's amazing. I'm so happy for him. It's great, finally they got it right, and he's coming, but just his ability to really turn it on in the fourth, or like when you need him. He might not be having a great game or something, but he's always going to be there for you at the end. He can really turn it on quick and be there for you when it matters. So we've been relying on that all year long. So it's been working great for us. So I'm just really, really happy for him, excited for him. His first time. The first one's always special.
I feel like you've helped him a lot. And I don't know, and I'm not just talking about on the floor. I think you guys all help each other because you guys are really talented players. You got talent around you. But I feel like he's more vocal than he's ever been. He's taking more pride on that. I mean, what have you noticed from that?
Definitely, definitely he's been more vocal. I feel like it helps. We just have a great group of guys off the court. So, on the plane, we're joking around. On the bus, there's just a great group, a lot of team chemistry, and then guys get to let loose. They might not have the confidence before, but if you can take jokes and everyone can mess around with everyone, it's easier to open up and speak up.
Yeah, talking about some of your teammates, the rookie Keegan Murray, he's had his ups and downs of the season, just a huge January. You see him play and you coach him up and you're always talking to him. What did you see in him as a player?
He's great. Like you said, ups and downs is normal. You're a rookie, you're going through things. He has a great month. Next month, teams are scouting him, not letting him do things. So he's in shock. Now he has to figure out options B and C. So it's just all part of the process. And he's a great kid, wants to work, always team player first. So he listens, and me and him are in a lot of action, and I see that he can do a lot of it, So I'm just trying to coach him, things that I went through my rookie year and stuff, So just trying to be there, help out and be a leader on the team.
Your toughness is pretty insane. And by the way, I know we sound like we're slobbering all over you. We kind of are. You've already made it into my top 5 favorite Kings of all time.
Facts.
Born and raised in Sacramento. But your toughness, man. I just, how many times you've been hit in the face? How many times you get knocked down? I feel like you've gotten hit in the face like every game this year, at least multiple times. You got the thumb thing. Like, what was your motivation to keep fighting through it once you had that thumb injury? Because it would have been easy for you to be like, you know what, I'm just going to rest this, just kind of take it easy now, get this healthy. Why did you want to keep playing?
It's tough, I always want to play through every game, no matter what it is, as a competitor, you want to be out there. And once you heard the number, it was like 6 to 8 weeks, out after surgery, it just, we worked so hard all summer, all year, training camp, to put ourselves in a good position and, just to not be there for the team for 25 games, something like that.
Yeah.
I just couldn't, I said, I'm going to try it out. If it goes well, it goes well, like we can always do the surgery after. So I tried it out, it's a pain that I can deal with. So I'm just going to keep going with it.
But it's why you've played at the same level though. Like, it's one thing to play, but you've been able to keep producing.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Thankfully, it's my right hand, and everyone says I don't use it or need it. So, left hand maybe would have been a bit different.
Okay.
Got it. So robotic body.
Yeah,
we understand that. Obviously you guys have played some really good basketball this year. We've all enjoyed watching this really fun product on the floor. And I know you're really honest with yourself. So how do you guys need to take that next step as a team?
The next step is definitely, defense. Defense is a big part for us. Coach is a defensive guy, and we just really need to go and learn how to put 4 quarters together. Usually we have 2 or 3 good quarters, and that 1 or 2 hurts us. If we can do that more consistently, that's going to help us out a lot. And then on offense, just don't get complacent. We're doing a lot of great things, but teams are going to start scouting us, and we got to be more tough and physical because they're going to start taking things away.
I know the trade deadline could be like a super stressful time in the NBA. It didn't seem like there was a ton of rumors around you guys. Of course, there's just that one move made, Kessler Edwards joining you guys. And then like in the Pacific Division, I mean, you see a ton of movement. Durant joining the Suns, what the Clippers were able to do. What's going through your mind when you see the rest of the West add like that?
It's crazy. It happened all like in an hour. But as a competitor, that's fun. We get to go against Kyrie and Luka today. You get to go against the best. And if you want to win, you got to go against the best. So for me, that's definitely fun and exciting. And for us, when you have a great group like us with great team chemistry, sometimes you don't want to mess things up. Things are going good. And at the end of the day, it's in our control. We got to get better. We know the things we got to get better at. So we just gotta focus on that.
So, Domas, you became a father last year. You're an all-star. De'Aaron just became a father, and he's an all-star. And people say that becoming a parent changes you. Do you have any advice for your teammate De'Aaron going forward?
I don't even know. Like, it's just it's completely different. Like, no sleep, but you have all the strength. I don't know. I was a big nap guy. No more naps, no nothing. But you still have the energy to do everything.
Wow.
You play. You play for your son, your daughter, whatever it may be. But it's just a whole different perspective of life, And I'm just grateful. It's been amazing so far.
One, we super appreciate you joining us on a game day.
Yes.
I know you got a game later. It's insane that you even joined us. Thank you. But I do want to ask you one more thing before I let you go. Your perspective on playing in front of these fans. I know you guys are playing good basketball, but it seems like this community has just really rallied around this team.
Yeah.
You guys walk in. I know sometimes on a Tuesday night in the road, it could be a little dead. No disrespect to the other NBA markets. That Houston game, there's nobody there. It's hard to get that energy. You guys walk in, it doesn't matter who you play, whether it's a premier team or maybe a losing team, the fans are into it. Like, as a player, how does that feel when you can walk into a gym and feel that type of atmosphere?
It's amazing. It's something you grow up dreaming about. You grow up watching the big games and you see all these fans and their support and screaming, going crazy. And the fact that we get to do that mostly every night of the year is amazing, because I've been on other teams where at home, depending on whatever the team is, it's 50% full, and it's tough to come out. So they're really helping us bring energy, support. It just makes it way more fun to be on the court. And I don't know, they've just been amazing since day one. I always say that since I got traded here, they've been amazing.
Well, you've been amazing too, man, and congratulations on making the All-Star team. Really wish you luck in the next couple of games tonight. Let's keep this thing rolling, man. We appreciate you joining us. Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one and only the All-Star, the 3-time All-Star, Domantas Sabonis. Let's go!
Let's go!
How about that,
dude? Good
wow,
job,
nice
Deuce Mason.
Surprise. Shout out. I appreciate everyone joining us for that. Coming up next, you don't want to go anywhere. It keeps rolling. Kings General Manager Monte McNair's press conference will be just after noon. Then we got a Kings roundtable. We got a lot to discuss. Sabonis just joined us.
Sabonis!
It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Hey.
Well,
that was really cool. Obviously, I wish we had like 30 minutes with him, but it was tight. I hope we got enough for you guys out there. This was something that like late last night, like, hey, you might be able to get him. I'm like, oh, sure. Like when? And we found out during the show, it was 11:15. We find out, hey, he might be able to join you next 20 or 30, which sends us scrambling. It's like, all right, how do we get ready for this? Blah, blah, blah. And just to rewind, we were supposed to maybe record something with him over the weekend, and we were kind of on standby for the whole day. It didn't happen.
For our one day off, but they didn't know. And it's like, it's not who cares about us?
Anyway, so I'm glad we got that in.
Yeah.
Super cool to have him on. By the way, the biggest thing you could do, hit the thumbs up button, please. Please.
Dude, that was so, like, honestly, you guys, like, for him to join us, even for that amount of time on a game day, I know some people are like, yeah, it's just a phone call. No, it's energy. It's out of routine. It is so damn nice of him to join us and for them to make that happen. Really, really cool.
Also,
we're going to skip the update here, guys.
Okay, skip the update, and then we'll toss to Monte McNair when he's ready. Will he be able to share that video on the YouTube feed? Okay, cool. Man, let's keep it rolling. We got like 575 people here. Hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Let's keep it going. Let's get the 300 thumbs up. Let's grow this channel.
Yes.
Seeing how the sausage is made makes it even cooler watching you guys on YouTube. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Aww.
That's some of the feedback. Great answer. Yeah, how about his answer talking about playing through it? He's just like, yeah, I wanted to fight through it. Like 6 to 8 weeks. No, I'm not.
I'm going to miss 25 games. No, wrap it up.
That's badass, dude.
It is. I mean, it's just some athletes have a different mindset, and that's why when people want to knock some other players that can't fight through an injury, it's not, I mean, it's obviously not just a mindset thing. It's a pain tolerance thing. There's so many things that can factor in, but then there's freaks like Sabonis that are like, thumb broken.
And his answer talking about the trade deadline, he's like, I love it.
Yeah.
Like, let's go. And that's how you should feel as a competitor.
Yes.
Like, screw it. Yeah, make your moves. We're going to be ready. Oh, it all starts tonight. Dude. Him joining us on a game day was very unique too. That seems kind of unusual.
Yeah, very.
Let me just send a text. Michael says, I missed it. Can you give me a recap? We'll make sure to post that interview on YouTube. It'll be part of the podcast too later on. But yeah, we just caught up with Domantas Sabonis. And Monte McNair's presser is coming up in mere moments. We are not playing today.
Oh, no, we are not.
We are not playing ever.
To quote the great DeAndre Ayton,
yeah,
this is not a play thing.
It's not a play thing.
It's not a play thing.
Are we getting an update that Kevin Hurt? Hold on, let's just make sure that's true. Someone said something that Kevin Herter maybe in a 3-point shootout.
What?
De'Aaron said he should be in it, but I haven't seen anything.
Jim says, I think Domas is related to Ronnie Lott. Believe it or not, he's actually related to Arvydas Sabonis.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I know a lot of people don't remember that, huh?
I was thinking too when he said his dad like text him. Does he text him or call? You say text? Well, so Arvydas Sabonis has huge hands.
Yeah.
Like if he had an iPad, it would look like an iPhone in his hands. That's how big his hands.
Well, maybe
are.
he texts him from an iPad.
Have you seen Andre the Giant?
Yeah.
Holding a beer can.
Yeah.
That's what Arvydas Sabonis is, a giant.
I know this, but I've never seen him holding an iPad. I'll have to check that out.
So Chris says we're skipping this update.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll be ready for the Monte McNair press conference.
Oh, sweet.
De'Aaron Fox, according to Not KJJK, says Herter is going to a 3-point contest.
Oh.
So, hell yeah. Appreciate you guys letting us know. That's why the chat's here. That's why we have a community, right?
Dude, he needs to have a good time at the 3-point competition. Get that confidence back up.
Yeah.
Get shots flowing. I was going to ask you, do you have to do WebEx today too?
I do.
Okay, cool.
I do. I have be on NBC Sports today, and WebEx not a big deal, guys. What am I talking about today?
I don't know. No.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Oh, yes. Shout out to everyone watching us live today on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe. What a surprise we just had just moments ago. A 3-time All-Star, Domantas Sabonis, called in. That interview will be posted later today on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140 and at SactownSports.com.
Super excited that happened.
We are expected to hear from Kings GM Monte McNair in just moments, his post-deadline press conference. So curious what he has to say about the Kings and the move they made for Kessler Edwards, and then what happened around them, which was a ton of movement.
Yeah.
Going back to Sabonis, what was the biggest thing that jumped out to you in our conversation with the big fella?
Obviously, we kind of talked about it at the break too, just the way that his mentality, his mindset is playing through a broken thumb, playing through injuries, getting hit in the face and everything. He is really tough, and he has a real strong mental game. And you can see when he's taken out of his game, when those moments become weaker and weaker for him. And for the most part, that doesn't happen, which is great. But I would say too, when he was talking about the Western Conference and the trade deadline, just how it motivates them to just do better and better. And that's what you want to hear. It's not like he's going to sit here and be like, oh, I was scared, shaking in my boots.
Well, I mean, of course, he had nothing to worry about.
Right.
I mean, he wasn't tripping about it. And yeah, I mean, it's a trade deadline day is a very weird day. In fact, I was listening to Dave and Jason today. They have Kevin Herter on every week on their show. And Kevin Herter was asked by Jason about the trade deadline.
Yeah, the first half of this year, luckily, we put ourselves in a position now to control our own destiny. So, yeah, I'm not obviously in the room making front office decisions. I'm for the most part out of the loop with what our team is thinking and where they see this organization going, just like most of the players are. It's normal across the NBA. But for us, I mean, we're in a really good spot. I think our team has a lot of really good chemistry. We've the way we're built and when we're at our best, it definitely takes a lot of chemistry to play in the offense that we're doing, to do a lot of things defensively that we're doing. There's been a lot of practice hours, practicing a lot of it. And so, I think from a team perspective and probably from a coach's perspective, it's easy to do what we're doing, which is just continue with the guys that we've had that have already won at a high level and beaten a lot of really good teams. And from the front office, I'm not – obviously I think there's a path that – doesn't include just this year of getting better. I'm sure that was a part of the decision making for this deadline. And at the end of the day, we're confident with the group we have moving forward. And as long as we take care of our business, we should put ourselves at a good spot.
Oh, and the test starts tonight. Kings and Mavericks back-to-back nights. Kyrie Irving in town playing. Luka will not play tonight against the Kings. Still dealing with that heel thing. There was some talk that he would play.
Yeah.
He tested it out, not ready to go. So he will not play tonight for the Mavs. Also, De'Aaron Fox named an all-star. Herder, the three-point shootout. It's an insane day, but Kings general manager Monte McNair is speaking live right now to the media about the post-trade deadline. Take a listen.
I said our one of the things we wanted to do was be protective of that group, and so ultimately we explored a bunch of things, but none met that threshold.
I know being reactionary is never ideal, but seeing all the moves that were happening in the West, did that factor into your calculus at all?
I think I would say high level, no. Our group, we do a great job of preparing heading into the deadline, just like we do during the draft, so that we know what our value is. Obviously, as things change with our competitors, that can change that calculus, but we also don't want to be reactionary just to be reactionary. We'll never do that. But the West is always tough. I've been in the West now for 16 seasons, and this is no different. We think we're in a really good spot, but we know we got 28 games left, and we're going to have to go and fight it out with some really good teams. But we're also confident in the group that has done that already for 54 games. So, we're all confident. And most importantly, the players are confident.
Yeah, Monty, defensively, you guys have not been great all season. You're still in the bottom, like 6 in the league. Is that something that you just felt like you couldn't address at the deadline without messing with the core of the team?
I think defensively, look, we know we need to be better. I would say we need to be better offensively too, and I think we can on both sides. We certainly struggled at the start of the year. I think we've been better, kind of in this middle part of the season. But we know we're going to need to be even better, especially with what our schedule looks like going forward. But we think the guys here have already shown the ability to do it. We need to be a little more consistent. But Mike and his staff have done a great job, and I think we're 19th or 20th since December 1st, so better, but certainly not good enough. But I think there's been some signs of improvement. We want to see that continue while our offense continues to be where it's at in the top 2 to 3 of the league.
Monte, you talked about wanting to let this group continue to gel. How much does it come into play, and how much do you worry about not wanting to impact negatively a locker room or team chemistry or team camaraderie, and not wanting to break up something like that when making any kind of move?
Yeah, I think it's part of the calculus, and we've turned over half our roster in the last year. So there's been a lot of change. We got new coaching staff, and we said, I think at the beginning of the year, we don't know exactly what it's going to be, and we want to sit and evaluate and see what's going to happen. And obviously, there's been some ups and downs. We started 0-4. We really busted out after that. We've fought through some tougher times, but I think consistently this team has shown that they will answer the challenge, continue to improve. So that doesn't mean that we didn't explore other things, because there could be those things, but we have to balance doing a move against the continuity, and just ultimately, none of those came past that point.
Monty, how do you weigh the differences between evaluating your team in November, December, January versus post All-Star break and potentially a playoff run? Like, are you still in that evaluation mode of like, I want to see how this group does in this situation?
Yeah, I would say we're always evaluating, but less of an evaluation period. We're much more confident for sure now that we're at this point in the season. But there's always going to be new challenges, and yeah, our job's never done. It's definitely a 12-month a year kind of thing these days. Now our job is to go and figure out how to get this group, to continue to do what they've done and come out on top and meet our goal of making the playoffs here by the end of the season.
Hey, Monty, you kind of addressed it, but entering the season, there were a lot of new changes and nobody really knew what this team was going to be. I'm just curious, was there a point in the season or maybe a specific game where you realized that this team was special?
That's a good question. I would probably point to the Utah game at home. If I'm going to get the sequence right, we're down 1. De'Aaron missed a couple shots. We got a couple offensive rebounds, and I believe all 5 guys touched it. It was completely unselfish, scrappy. We had, by the way, I'll get back to this, but our second All-Star missed a couple shots, but then fought for the rebound. Harrison got it, kicked it to Keegan, who immediately swung it to Kevin, who knocked down about a 30-footer. And the place went crazy. But I think that just showed our guys aren't going to quit. But they're also going to be unselfish. They're going to get in the fight, and they're going to be confident that when the ball hits their hand, they're going to knock down the shot we need them to. So if I had to point to one, I'd point to that. That was special. But there's been a lot of moments along the way.
Yeah, Monty, throughout this decision-making process, what was on your mind is what would make the end of this season a successful year?
Again, we know what our long-term, goals are. Certainly in the short term, we want to make the playoffs. Longer term, we want to become a contending team in the West. But our focus is what can we do tonight, tomorrow, and forward. And that's what I think has gotten us to that point. And Mike has done a fantastic job of doing that. If he's not the coach of the year at this point, I think something's wrong. But to have our team where they are now, I believe we have something like the most blowout wins and the fewest blowout losses. And I think that shows our guys get down, they fight back. And some nights we don't have it, but we're there trying to figure out a way. There was maybe a Memphis game earlier this year where we just couldn't make a shot, but our defense held us in it. We almost pulled it out in the end. There's been other times where it's all clicking and, teams have a hard time sticking with us on both ends. So, testament to Mike and what they've done. But I think if we continue that process, we're gonna get to where we need to get to, not just this year, but going forward.
You're listening to Kings GM Monte McNair's press conference.
Do you anticipate looking at the buyout market at all to add depth, or do you think you're pretty much done with the roster?
Like I said, 12-month a year job. We'll continue to look at opportunities that can help our team, but at the same time, not just our starting lineup, our depth has been great. We've had 10, 11, 12, 13 guys contribute. Shout out to our Stockton team, who is first in the West right now. We've had Keon Ellis and Mias Keita and others down there developing. So, we're confident our roster top to bottom. But, of course, if there's opportunities to continue to help that present, we'll look at those.
Yeah, Monty, getting Domas into the All-Star game had to be a huge thing for you specifically because of the way that the Tyrese Halliburton trade was looked at. But how much does having Fox also there sort of validate everything that happened in that situation where you not only got one All-Star, but you got one that helped another guy get to the All-Star game as well?
Yeah, certainly not about me. That's about Domas and what he's done for this team, and he's just been fantastic from day one. And we run a ton of stuff through him on both ends. We rely on him heavily. It's a pleasure to watch him out there. And then De'Aaron, who's been, I guess, the new award, whatever it is, the Jerry West Award. I mean, De'Aaron's been amazing down the stretch in the clutch. I'm just so happy for De'Aaron. I had all my remarks about how, I believe we have 2 All-Stars, even though it hasn't been recognized yet. I'm so happy it's been recognized. And, those 2 guys, they're the engines that make us go. And, it's the pieces around them. Harrison Barnes, who's, certainly, I guess, our quote unquote veteran leader. He's won a championship. Kevin, Keegan coming in as a rookie, on and on. Davion, Malik, Trey, Chemezi, Rashawn, Terrence Davis. We go on. These guys, I think, all feed off those 2 guys and complement them very well. And, I'm happy for the recognition that they've gotten.
You look at all these accomplishments that you have along the way. It's like the first time since so many years you get different franchise leaders. You got 2 All-Stars and so forth. Does this at all exceed maybe some of the expectations or thoughts that you might have had about this team before the season started? Has anything kind of surprised you or exceeded maybe some of the things that you thought this team could be?
I think there's always some range of outcomes that can happen at the start of the season, I think our group felt really good about what we'd put out there and the opportunities that the team had to grow. We got a coach in Mike who, we felt could be the perfect coach and has proven that for this group. We had what we thought could be 2 all-stars, which is proven out. We certainly wanted to add a lot of shooting around those guys and guys who can play hard and be two-way guys. So I think a lot of the things that we thought could happen, and maybe some folks were more or less confident in those things happening. A lot of those have borne out, and we've seen that. But we're only 2/3 of the way through the season. I don't think they hand out playoff berths at this point. So we got 1/3 of the season to go, and we're gonna have to continue to answer those challenges like we've done.
They might not hand out playoff berths at this point in the season, but owners hand out contract extensions. How happy were you to get that? And now how big is it for you to be on the same timeline as Mike Brown as well?
Yeah, I'm first of all, obviously, thank Vivek and his support and everything along the way. And this is just, I'm very happy. The next step in our, in our relationship, my wife and kids love Sacramento. So happy that we can, continue to grow our family here. But also, mostly a testament to all the people that, help along the way. First and foremost, Wes Wilcox, who's here, he's run his own team. He should be running one very soon, if not, should already have been there. But Phil Jabor, who, runs our entire personnel, he's going to be next in line. Paul Johnson already running our G League team into first place. I think there's going to be multiple folks in the very near term that are I'm gonna have to be negotiating with at future trade deadlines, and they'll know all my tricks and I'll know all theirs. But that group and the rest of our front office, is the reason for all that. And we're happy about what we got going, what we're going to try to finish this year, and now continue to go on in future years.
Monte, back to the trade deadline, can you share any insight on the current market value of second round picks? I know you have a collection of them. We saw multiple deals with 5 second round picks being moved for players. Just any insight that you can share on what that value is of a second rounder today?
Second rounders can be used in many different ways. We've drafted second rounders. We've traded them in different moves. We have sent a second rounder last year for a rights owned player. So I think they're a currency. This year, there were a lot of teams trying to improve. There's a ton of parity across the league. And, that's the market, right? When there's more buyers and sellers, maybe that inflates some of those prices. But all those things are part of the portfolio, whether we, use them in pick and trade, in other ways. We're always balancing those things. But, just part of our portfolio that we try to do to get this team to where we need to.
Monty, this is obviously a fan base that hasn't seen the playoffs in 16 years. When you're operating at the trade deadline, how do you balance the idea of maybe pushing all your chips in to maybe make a move that's more win now, so to speak, versus, like you said, wanting to contend for the long run and years to come?
Yeah, we've said it from day one, but making the playoffs is very important and is our stated short-term goal. At the same time, we're also making sure that we're going to be here for a long time, and we're going to be in the playoffs. We're going to be competing. We're going to be growing. But I would say we looked at moves that may help us in the short term and help solidify that. At the same time, what this group's done, we have guys that have been in and out of the rotation that we think can help us. So I think we have a lot of depth already, and guys that have proven they can help us. So we're happy about that group, and like we said, the continuity of the group is something that we haven't had as much of. We've had a lot of turnover lately, and now that we've had the success there, we think that can be a big part of our stretch run as well.
Yeah, Monty, heading into your second contract in not too long, how do you feel like you've grown as an individual and a general manager since when you first took this job?
I'm way less nervous at press conferences.
That's true.
So which I don't know. I hope that's a good thing. Although the first press conference, there was no folks there with COVID, so maybe that helped. But no, I think we've had a lot of change in my time here, and roster, coaching staff, even front office, performance staff. But we do feel like we're in a really good place. I try to surround myself with really good people and listen to them, and I think that's gotten us to where we are. I'm going to continue to do that, and like I said, we're gonna. I hope the next step for us is the sign of a really good organization is when your folks continue to get bigger and better jobs elsewhere, and then the next challenge for us is going to be how to replace those folks and keep this thing going. But that's going to be a good problem to have, and I'm just going to continue to find people that help me and make me look better. So,
Monty, when you look at the group that you have now versus the years in the past, what sticks out to you the most on the reason you guys are having this recent success?
I don't think it's any one thing. It's sometimes it's hard to diagnose, how all those things are, but really I think it's the combination of, like I said, Mike, who should be coach of the year, the culture he's helping build, the culture he's really built and continues to, new players joining old players. So we've had De'Aaron and Harrison and Rashawn here since I started, by adding Domas and Kevin and on down the line. Those guys, how they've complemented each other, and just those guys building off of each other's success and building that confidence that they can do it. And I think every game we play, every win we have continues to build that. The belief in that group is growing, and I think it's not just one thing, and it's the combination of all of them. And again, that's a big reason that we're happy with where the group is, and we're going to let them continue to grow here.
Last one. Anyone out there? Let's get the mic over there.
Hello. If I can sneak in really quick, Harrison Barnes, such an important part of this team going into an offseason where the future is undecided. How do you weigh the decision of trying to maximize value at the trade deadline versus believing that you'll tackle that or cross that bridge when you come to it?
Yeah, just say Harrison is obviously a huge part of what we're doing. Harrison can play multiple positions, multiple, guard different guys. Coach puts him on a lot. He's a huge part of our team, and not just on the court, but off the court. With his championship pedigree, the ultimate professional. We all know the value Harrison has to us, and we're happy he's here.
There you go. There is Kings general manager Monte McNair just wrapping up his live post-trade deadline press conference. If you missed it, so they had lots of conversations, but they want to be protective of this group. They explored a bunch of different things, but they feel like they're in a position with a good starting lineup, good depth. He says that defensively, there has been growth. They're 19th or 20th since December 1st in defensive rating, which isn't great, but believing that there are some good moments. They just need to be more consistent. They're ready to see what else is out there if possible. He was asked about the buyout market. He kind of dodged it, said, hey, it's a 12-month job. Look at opportunities to help the team, but Stars have been great. The bench has been great too. So didn't really answer much there, but that was Monte McNair. We're getting Morgan's thoughts on what Monty had to say. We'll talk about our interview with Domantas Sabonis, plus the Kings Roundtable at 1 with Frankie and Chris. Do not go anywhere. It's Deuce and Mo. We're always live on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. YouTube chat. Dude, what an insane show today.
What an insane show.
Turn on
What
your-
an insane show.
How's everybody doing in the chat, by the way? Anything jump out to you? Kevy says he's so damn good at saying nothing at the same time saying
Boom.
something.
Boom. So good at it.
Also, yeah, great question. Unless we missed it, we could have went in a little late. Was he not asked about Kessler Edwards? The disrespect.
Well, and I thought that's what he was going to be asked about in the first place. Like,
yeah, and maybe we joined a little late. It's possible.
Okay.
Oh, man. Ian says the Barnes answer was the ultimate Monty dodge. No, here's the problem with that. Like, and what is he going to say publicly about that? I mean, he was asked about the value and his future. Was he going to be like, well, yeah, we thought about trading him, but we thought he's kind of important to the team. Like that's just a what is he supposed to say in that situation?
About who?
Harrison Barnes. He's like, how
Yeah.
do you weigh like getting value from him or keeping him here, the extension? It's like, I mean, he's just gonna say he's great. You're not
Yeah.
gonna get anything from him.
No, but that's Monte McNair, like he even said it. He's like, oh, I feel like I've loosened up as a GM and in these press conferences. And I mean, sure, whether he has or has not, it's the same old press conference. Sometimes I think, what makes it fun too.
What makes it fun, Morgan?
You just you wish for that one little slip up, that one moment that he's just going to be like, give you a good little nugget.
We had a better deal 2 days ago.
Oh,
maybe not that one.
We had a better deal. Yeah. Those ones made me go,
oh man,
what the competence level, what is happening?
Can you get Monty on the pod or the show? Yeah, I'd love to. I would love to get him on. But I want him in studio so we can make him uncomfortable.
Yes.
So we could force him not to dodge things,
I will say this. It is very difficult to get a hold of Monte McNair.
Interesting. You say that, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
It would have to be a world-class show to get Monte McNair.
No.
That's interesting.
No.
I don't know if that's true. Domas Sabonis was with us.
He was. He was fantastic.
What do you feel about Domas? Are you saying anything bad about
Chris
Domas?
does not like Domas Sabonis.
Yeah. That's what I got out of this conversation.
We chatted it up a couple of minutes after you guys.
Yeah, he was like, God, those Deuce and Mo are great. I'd love to do a weekly spot with them. Honestly, I did not know what to expect from him because he, when he does his press conferences,
quick.
I mean, he's asked 27 questions, but it's done in 3.5 minutes. And it's not because he's short. He's just very much like, yeah, I'm super excited to play and we're just going to keep building. We'll just keep playing together. And I like what we're building. Oh, okay.
Straight to the point.
Demonis, how does it feel to have a kid now?
Yeah, a kid. It's just no sleeps. I used to take naps. Now I don't. Next question.
Next.
It's like, all right. That's why you don't have kids.
I love this juice.
Good job drinking some green juice.
Greens with ginger. Yeah. Okay. Since we make fun of my drinks, the soda I had,
What's
you
in
can't
it?
really make fun of this. Apple, cucumber, celery, lemon, spinach, ginger, kale, and parsley.
Okay.
Wait, why can't we make fun of that?
I mean, what's there to make
Because
fun
it's
of?
not like
healthy?
Eye of Newt.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Like the cacti from Nepal.
Yeah, Trevor, you missed Domas. You know what? I'm going to be nice. I'm going to drop a link for you.
That's super nice.
I'm going to drop a link for you. Let's see if I can find it here. See if it's on the website. Yep. I know it's on the YouTube page. I was just going to be nice and link it to Sactown Sports. You guys should I know the YouTube page is great and we're growing it. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and all that, but you guys should definitely check out the website too, sactownsports.com. But here I'm going to drop the interview in the YouTube feed. It did allow me to do it. I don't even know.
Monte McNair did say that about the Kings starting lineup. He said our starting lineup is one of the best, if not the best, in the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I think statistically it kind of is.
Statistically, okay.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Their stars are really good.
No, I'm
better
not.
starting lineup tonight.
That's true. They're better than Dallas. In my opinion, they're better than Dallas. And even I'm talking about with a healthy Luka. Like Luka and Kyrie are super dynamic, but Dallas lost their best defender in Dorian Finney-Smith. Their defense is not what it was last year. I think so many people are like, no, I mean, with their defense and you had Kyrie, it's like, no, their defense has not been good this year. It's taken a step back. They've been worse than the Kings defensively.
Oh, yeah. No, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and there's a lot of things that have to function as a team to be, I guess, considered or identified as a good team. But at the same time, having good individuals can get you to a postseason, can elevate you to a level that sometimes the team, that's the success they want to see anyway. What?
Nothing. I was just catching up on some texts.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have a beam equivalent in Stockton? Yeah, they actually, it's a baby beam. It's a laser pen that they launch.
I was asked that the other day
Yeah.
on a show.
Hey, if you're in the chat and you have not hit the thumbs up button, let's do it. We can get the 400 thumbs up today. It'd be an unbelievable week of thumbs up. We've had a 400. We've had a 950 yesterday thumbs up.
Damn. Yeah, yesterday was wild.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. We start with the Kings news that De'Aaron Fox has been named an All-Star. He was named an All-Star reserve replacement along with Toronto's Pascal Siakam and Minnesota's Anthony Edwards. You could see new All-Stars De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis tonight. The Kings host the Dallas Mavericks. It will be the first of a back-to-back against the Mavericks. And according to Shams Charania, Luka Doncic was expected to return tonight, but he told reporters that he felt some pain during a workout and is unlikely to play. You can listen to the game with Game Night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. And now more of Deuce and Mo.
Live and local.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Watch the show now on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Or listen for free on the Sactown Sports app.
Oh, that sounds good. Deuce Mason, Morgan, Reagan, and what a day it is. It's a Friday, which is always amazing, but the Kings are back on the home floor for the first time in what seems like 3 weeks, getting ready for a huge matchup. It's the Kings and the Mavs, the biggest game that these two teams have played since like 2004, in my opinion. We're talking about way back when these two teams used to play in the playoffs. It's been a long time. The Kings with a 2-game lead on the Dallas Mavericks in the Western Conference. Kyrie Irving will be playing tonight. Luka will not be playing tonight. They thought he was going to play. The heel tried to get it going today. Warmed up, said, I'm not playing. No Luka in the building, but Golden One Center is going to be electric for many reasons. This team's playing their best basketball in like 16 years at 31 and 23. Sabonis is an all-star, and we just found out today that Adam Silver, the commish, did the right thing. He probably listened to us and said, oh, I won't be welcome back in Sacramento.
That's what he said.
He named De'Aaron Fox as an injury replacement. De'Aaron Fox is an all-star. The Kings have 2 of them.
Now, is there a street or an alley that we can name after Adam Silver?
Great
No.
question.
No, we're not at that point yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He better name him an all-star every year for the rest of his. Well, hopefully he just gets in as an all-star starter for the rest of his years. Yeah, exciting times on this Friday.
So a lot to talk about. We just heard from Monte McNair, his press conference post-trade deadline last hour. We had a 3-time All-Star Domantas Sabonis call into the show. You could check that out on the YouTube page at youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. Monte McNair's press conference just wrapped up. Morgan, anything jump out to you from Mr. McNair?
Nope. His press conferences, they are what they are. I think someone in our YouTube chat was saying he's one of those guys that says a lot without saying anything, and he does it every time, and he does a really good job at it. And that's what's going to keep your job safe, and no one's going to question things. But me, as a basketball fan, as an NBA fan, as someone who enjoys consuming knowledge and things that I could work with, it can be annoying at times. But yeah, it is what it is from Monte McNair.
Yeah, and for those who just missed it, he said that they pursued some things.
Mm-hmm.
Their short-term goal, make the playoffs. Long-term, be a championship contending team, be competing in the Western Conference. They said they looked at things, but they're comfortable with what they have. And he cited the fact that they've had many guys who've been in and out of the rotation, but still find a way to contribute, which is so true. And, we played a clip from Cal's and Rami last hour talking about just that Jay Triano, who was on with them, just talking about how there's almost a relief that they did not make a move because they believe this group, And we'll find out. Like
Yeah.
the true test starts now in the final 30 games. This is a confident group. The coaches, the players, they feel like they've got a squad that can compete with some of these teams in the Western Conference and that they just have to be consistent. We'll find out.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. It's I know Monte McNair also did say in his press conference our starting lineup is one of the best, if not the best, in the NBA. And they have the confidence in their team. I think the numbers, the analytics show what type of starting lineup that they do have in the NBA. Their offensive numbers show that they're one of the best offenses in the league. This isn't just fluky. It's not like their system is to jack up a whole bunch of shots and hope that they fall in and then not play any defense. There's structure there. There is some good fundamental basketball that goes down on both ends of the floor. It's just not elite or up to the NBA level. It needs to be on the defensive end if you want to be a better team in this league in the postseason.
Well, De'Aaron Fox was asked yesterday after practice about Kyrie Irving. Here's what he had to say about the Mavs landing Kyrie.
I've always said he's like the Michael Jackson of basketball. Like, no player moves the way he does as far as handling the ball, being able to get a shot off. So for us, I mean, you just want to be able to make it tough for him. Obviously, he's going to make tough shots. He's going to make tough plays. But you just try to limit him as much as possible. And like I said, we focus on us. When that time comes, we're going to be prepared.
It's an interesting comp. He said the Michael Jackson of basketball with some of the moves he makes. These are just moves you haven't seen before.
Glad he went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just talking about Michael had dance moves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dance moves.
Okay. Whatever.
It's like really two compelling human beings.
I am really interested in seeing the matchup tonight. And obviously, no Luka changes things dramatically for Dallas. But, Kyrie's, he's going to be playing with a little more swagger now. He's going to be playing a little more free tonight. He's probably in a much better mindset than he was at the end of his time in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So even without Luka, it's going to be a challenge.
This is a team that likes to take a lot of threes. They're one of the top teams in 3-point attempts in this league. And now you're adding a guy in Kyrie Irving who can knock that outside shot down as well. No Luka, obviously. So just one less weapon to worry about. But we know how Kyrie is as an offensive player, a guy that can get to his spots, that can create for others and make a lot of other people better. And when you're going against a defense that could barely figure it out against the Houston Rockets in that second game, it makes you a little nervous.
I'm curious from Kings fans out there, how do you feel after you've had 24 hours to process the trade deadline? Are you in a spot now where you're like, you know what? I've heard the players talk. I've heard the coaches talk. I've listened to Deuce and Mo. I feel pretty good about what lies ahead. Where do you weigh in? You can always hit us up in the chat about it. Also at 1-800-920-1140 or 916-339-1140. It's Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports. Was it tinkle time for Mo?
No.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm just moving for.
Oh, Frankie and Chris going to be here soon for a little Kings roundtable at 1. These kids in Sactown, when I hear Monty, he always puts me at ease. Okay. Swipa says plausible they hang on to the 6 seed. Okay. I like that. Ryan says unsure for sure. I like that. Unsure for sure. Westside Kings fan Morgan says Fox becoming an all-star does make me feel better. Kevy, 16 years of instability. We have one trade deadline where we stand pat and we all lose our minds. I'm feeling good. Okay, I like that. Huggies, no, we're good. We'll pass on that. Thank you.
Wait, pass on what?
Nothing. Rich says the chemistry won't be messed with. That's the good news. Yeah, that's good. Ninja says a little nervous, but I still feel like we can light the beam to be the top 6. I think that's the goal, right? Like be a top 6 team. I don't want to mess with the play-in. And give me a couple of home playoff games. That's what I want. You get 2, guaranteed 2.
Dude, this day feels like not real. Like,
why?
I don't know. It's just crazy that we talked to Domas finally after something we've just been wanting to do for a little bit. It's It was fun.
That was fun.
It was fun. Oh, is it that time?
Cookie time.
Oh. It's cookie time. Man.
It's cookie time.
All right. I have two. When am I going to prep for the other show?
It's not till
What other show?
7. Relax.
Yeah, but we got stuff on the floor before the game. We got stuff.
What do you have?
Kyrie's going to be out there. What do you mean?
Maybe. Are we sure?
Better
Maybe.
be.
He might be. Maybe he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go home for a little bit. I gotta rest.
I feel like this is a game where there's going to be a lot of national people there. Gotta like make my hair look good.
Joe was just saying something in the chat about, I'm not nervous at all. They'll stay in the 3 spot. Dude, that'd be great. It's going to be tough. I hope they do.
Yeah, that's gonna. You guys, just be prepared. Be prepared for. That's so negative. I'm not going to say
How about
that.
you just
I'm
enjoy
not,
the
yeah,
ride? Like,
yeah.
what do
No, but I guess I say it. It's not even for myself. I say it because I hate taking on the vibes of everyone that is in our Discord and our YouTube and on Twitter. And I should just like, I don't know, have a boundary and not let it affect me, but it does because like we're all in this together. And then when everyone else is like put down, it's like, didn't you kind of see this coming? I don't know.
I don't think anyone would be let down if they're a top 16. If you're in
No,
the top 6,
no.
you'd be,
If they're a top 6 team, no.
and there's still a chance. So they're in position. You win 2 games this weekend. And tonight is one of those games you just need to get. And it's going to be hard because you're coming off a long road trip, but Dallas is playing shorthanded. Figure out a way. You're at home.
And you have to win tonight because, as we know, Kings do terrible against teams on a back-to-back.
That's true. That's true. But there's no rest advantage this time for them. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Why do you just take a deep breath? What?
I'm just figuring out they're just like adding things to the show tonight.
This show's not till 7. You got a show here right now.
Oh,
Forget
no,
that show.
this show is like, I can do this. Like we're talking Kings. They're just adding new elements.
It's Deuce and Mo on your local sports leader.
Sactown Sports.
And this weekend's going to be so fun. We got Kings games Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Kings and Mavs, 2 ginormous games for the Sacramento Kings.
Mhm.
Sunday, you have the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Who's playing again?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Can you guys get at least a little excited?
I am very excited.
You are
Two-time
excited, right?
MVP Patrick Mahomes. He won the MVP last night. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. What is it? What is it? Why? I mean, you guys, I am on social media far too much because of the work that we're in. And I'm telling you, I see so much NBA, basketball, everything. And I follow so much football and I haven't been seeing anything that's like, yeah, I'm intrigued. Okay, there's one thing I clicked on last night. George Kittle singing out the awards.
Oh my God. Can we hold on? And Morgan thought this was like the most hilarious
No,
thing
I didn't.
ever.
That's the thing. No, I didn't.
George Kittle at the NFL honors, which was so cringe. I saw clips of it.
I never.
So George Kittle went on stage to sing with Kelly Clarkson. And it would have been funny if it was like 2 seconds of it. But like, did Kittle do
I
a
disagree.
whole song? Here's George Kittle.
Yes, our season's over. And yes, that last game blew. But Brock, you should still feel proud. We wouldn't be there without you.
Oh, that's nice.
And Christian McCaffrey. Dude can run, catch, and pass. But I'd prefer Nick Bosa. closer. Throwing Prescott on. Soon. Cause we belong together now. Yeah. Wherever you are.
Are you serious?
Here, somehow. Yeah. You got a piece of me. Yeah. And on the slide. My life.
His life. What's up?
Without you and all you guys too. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, forced. They shouldn't have done it. What do you want me to tell you? Huh?
See, I liked it.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I could make up a better
my
song.
breakdown. One,
Yes. Oh, 100% you could.
who with the NFL wrote the song? Fire them immediately.
Okay.
Awful writing.
Fire them.
This
Got
seemed
it.
like someone was like, "Hey, Kittle wants to do so. Okay, I'll write something real fast. McCaffrey, run, pass, catch, ball." What?
It's kind of how I make my P songs.
Then they had a live band, and that means they rehearsed that.
Wait, that was a
Awful.
live band?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Well, it's just a quick clip. I was paying attention to the lyrics. I was paying
The
attention
worse
to the
it
vocals.
got, the more I liked it.
It was so cringe.
It was, but here's the thing. Okay. Oh, great question for you guys. What was more cringe? George Kittle singing right there or Drake's appearance after LeBron James hits the historic shot?
Yeah, that was really weird.
That was terrible.
That was
Thank
really
you.
weird. It was like his
That
family.
was cringe.
It was, and I don't think the TNT crew was prepared for it because they tossed to all this video and it's like all these like heartwarming, like, "Hey, proud of you, LeBron, legends." It's like family members. It goes to Drake. And I could tell he was not on the court. It was like a crappy green screen
It was a
behind him.
fake Akron, Ohio
Yeah.
high school gym
And then they drop and he's like in the club with
with
a whole bunch of
women.
And I'm like, what?
Meanwhile, the game is still going on.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, hey, celebrating this monumental moment in NBA history. And Drake's doing like an SNL bit.
And it's like whoever asked him to do something funny, that's not the time for funny. It's just not. We can be entertaining after.
But here, it wasn't even funny.
And it wasn't.
That's-
So which one was more cringe? George Kittle or Drake?
George Kittle.
Chris?
Drake.
Ooh, I'm with you. George Kittle was like, you know what? He's fun, whatever personality. Drake is really funny, talented guy. That moment, whether it was his decision or not, shouldn't have been done.
I mean, it should have been like a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah, maybe that, like the feel of it, people would have been like, this is actually more funny because look at where it's at.
Yeah.
Yes. But George Kittle singing, it's not his fault. They asked him to do it, and he was probably like, I can do it.
It was awful. And then they had Kyle Brandt do like a live rendition of his feature he does on Good Morning Football.
The problem with the NFL awards is it's the most unfunny people trying to be funny.
Yep.
And making an awards ceremony, which none of us really care about.
No.
Like we care about the awards, like, oh, who's gonna be Coach of the Year, who's gonna be MVP.
Yeah.
But we don't need it to be like an Oscars, Grammy style event.
And if you don't know how to do it right and produce it right to be like that, then don't try to be like that.
No.
Be yourself. Be boring.
I think the other thing that is funny about this week is there's just the storylines. What are the storylines?
Mahomes' ankle.
Yes. It's awesome that first time in NFL history you have two black starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
That's huge. But in terms of like trash talk, this is the biggest trash talk we've had this week.
Honestly, I think the best Philly cheesesteaks are not in Philly, to be honest.
Oh,
That's from Juju Smith-Schuster. Oh my God.
That's like, wow.
You think Sirianni put that up in the locker room? Hey, you hear what Juju said? The best Philly steaks are from Philly. Jalen Hurts is like, what did you just say, coach? What? He said, what? Guys, screw Juju. We're going to show it. Like, what do we do?
Yeah, that wouldn't pump me up. That wouldn't get me
You know,
going.
it is kind of weird though, and I
What?
think this is something that we have to consider. I think it's the 2 weeks off.
No, it's always the 2 weeks off, I think, too. Brooke in the chat mentioning the Kelsey brothers. That's true. I think it's cool that the two brothers are going head to head.
But it would be better if they hated each other.
It would, what would be better is if they hated each other, or if like one parent's like, oh, I'm 100% rooting for Travis.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I compared, like,
pick a side. Pick a side. Sometimes you
although,
got to.
let's be honest.
What?
Jason is better than Travis in terms of like, Jason's playing with like injuries and stuff.
So
Travis is like, I'm on a reality show.
No, that's not it. You know what
Also-
it is? It is what?
Can we just be real honest about
Okay,
Travis Kelce?
be real honest, and I'll tell you something about him.
He's such a hottie. Good thing for beards.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is what I was just about to say. When I went out to dinner with my friends like 3 weeks ago, and because they were like talking about, I was telling them how I have to actually watch, football and take notes now instead of just watching it for fun while drinking. And they were like, oh, yeah, we don't know anything, whatever, blah, blah. And then Travis Kelce comes up and they have to talk about how hot he is and how gorgeous he is. And I'm like, you guys, I don't think he's that hot. It was like I had said some of the worst things in the entire world because I don't think Travis Kelce is attractive man.
I just Googled Travis Kelce without a beard.
And?
He looks like
It's
a
shocking.
completely different person.
It's shocking.
Thank you.
It is shocking.
Okay, what's more shocking? Travis Kelce without a beard or Sean Cunningham without a hat?
It's Kelce.
I think it's Kelce.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely Kelce.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to it. It's a Super Bowl. You just look forward to it. I just think in terms of like the larger conversation, what we're talking about is it's the 2 weeks off. It's nowadays there's just so much content. It's content overload where it's like the 2 weeks feels like a month. Where back in the day, 2 weeks still felt long, but not as long. With social media, with all the shows that do content left and right, you're just like, all right, can we play the game? I think the best part about the 2 weeks off is that you just hope that Jalen Hurts' shoulder is in a good spot and Patrick Mahomes' ankle's in a much better spot. It just allows this game to be played at a high level. This could be an awesome Super Bowl, and that's what I want.
Yeah, and hopefully Rihanna has the right sound check that she needs. And obviously her playlist is the one that we all want to hear at the half. And then we're really all good for this game.
Well, coming up next hour, I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
Kings Roundtable.
Hell yeah.
We have post-trade deadline conversations to have. Thoughts on what Monte McNair had to say. De'Aaron Fox officially named an all-star today. We are live next hour, and we can hear from you if you've got questions or comments about what the Kings did or did not do. Thoughts on De'Aaron Fox making the all-star team. We're going to be live in studio. Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, Frankie Cardicelli, and Chris Watkins. 1 o'clock hour kicks off with the Kings Roundtable next on Sactown Sports. What's up, YouTube chat?
Give me a double box, would you, Chris?
Give me a double box. Appreciate you guys being here. Hit that thumbs up.
What am I going to wear tonight? Ugh. Oh, good. I can see the back of my hair with this shot. Nice. My life.
I'm going to go Tinko real fast. Get the chat going, Morgan. Get people fired up on a Friday.
All right. I'll get you guys fired up on a Friday. Let's see. Since Chris isn't necessarily paying attention, I guess I will start with this. Oh, I hope the door shuts. Okay. Chris, are you ready for this new one? Are you ready for this new one? Okay. I know you gotta pee now, but I just refuse to hold it in. Oh, hey guys.
Oh, did he go to the bathroom?
Yeah, he went pee. I was doing my pee song.
They're like, oh, I need you to do this because I have a show that I have to do. And
yes,
everything
same
like
thing, Frankie. Come here. Oh, God.
Can I pee? Only fools hold it in.
Good.
'Cause I can't help having an accident.
What's worse, George Kittle singing or that? Don't answer it, you two. Hey, Chris, no, I put the chair there. Yeah. Wait, do you not like it?
No, I just didn't notice.
Are you so embarrassed that you picked the wrong chair? Oh my God. I'm so embarrassed for him.
I don't have a little mic.
So Chris has to move because his head's in the way of the camera.
He will. No, you're good. Right there. Right there. Is that good for you?
This is good for me. Are you good?
Yeah. If this stupid thing.
What's up, guys? What's up?
Come on now. Come on, mama.
Dude, you guys got to go to Salt Lake City.
Party capital of the world.
SLC, the only one. Dang.
There's a slight chance we might go.
Slight.
There's a slight.
Well,
Really?
There's plans that
This
kind of
just
got
happened.
mixed, that we're like, maybe we go. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Join us.
Yeah.
Join us.
Who's that?
Everyone in Kings Media.
Oh, really?
Except James. I think everybody else is going.
Come on, James Ham.
I think everybody else is going.
Hey, how are you guys doing? What a last
Pretty
24
good.
hours.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, wait.
What's up, YouTube chat? If you guys have questions, by the way, comments, you can hit us up.
This.
Oh. Oh wow. Where's that?
For some reason, that Morgan was drinking a carton of milk. Like,
Dude, it totally looks like that.
Sorry.
No, you're good, dude. You're.
I was gonna say if you want to look at it from
No.
here.
Morgan's wearing sweatpants right now.
Yeah, I didn't go with the normal clothes today. I have too much to think about.
Comfy.
Thanks. That's, I think. Yeah,
Weird.
That's good. Thank you. What do you mean it's weird? They're Nike, so it's like, this is what cool kids do.
Scooter says you need more cameras. No, there's actually 3 cameras in here. Or wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, but
Thanks, Chris.
whoever placed them was like, hey, I'm just gonna put one here, here, and here. There's no like rhyme or reason, I don't think. Right?
I don't think so. They're
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, we'll just
Yeah,
throw one
definitely
on this
not a lot
part.
of
What if Chris was like, oh, I was the one that
It
installed
was.
them?
It was kind of.
Well, if it was him, then I'd be taking shots at
Yeah.
him.
Oh my god. At least it's
It was the
space.
engineers. It's fine.
Hey, 7 thumbs up away from 400. Let's get it going.
I have so many questions for you guys.
Deal.
Yes.
About
Stand
box
by.
water.
Update.
Yes.
And then we've got the Kings Roundtable live.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Big news of today, De'Aaron Fox has been named an All-Star. He was named an All-Star reserve replacement along with Toronto's Pascal Siakam, Minnesota's Anthony Edwards. Sacramento Kings are back at home tonight. They will host the Dallas Mavericks, and it will be the first game of a back-to-back against the Mavs. According to Shams Charania, Luka Doncic was expected to return tonight, but he told reporters that he felt some pain during a workout and is unlikely to play. You can listen to the game with game night at 5:30 and tip-off scheduled for 7 right here on Sactown Sports. It is finally here, the Super Bowl this weekend. This Sunday, the Chiefs and Eagles will meet up to become the newest NFL champions. The Eagles, as of right now, are favored by 1.5 points. You can listen to the Super Bowl with pregame starting at 11 right here on Sactown Sports. Now more of Deuce and Mo with our Kings Roundtable with Chris Watkins and our Kings Cowboy, Frank Cardicelli.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
I love it. Every week we do this. Actually, a couple times a week, it
Yeah.
seems. It's our Kings Roundtable. The Kings getting ready for the most important stretch of their season as they try to end the long playoff drought. Right now, they're in a good spot. The number 3 seed in the NBA's Western Conference at 31-23. But guess what? The NBA trade deadline's over. Every team made moves in the Western Conference. All the teams in their division made moves. Kings were a little bit quiet at the deadline. It's been a jam-packed Kings content-filled show here on Sactown Sports and on the station. Today,
What?
you had Kevin Herter in the morning.
Yeah, you
You
did.
can hear that, SactownSports.com.
Yeah, you can.
We had Domas Sabonis on.
Yeah, we did.
We had Monte McNair's press conference. And, of course, Frankie Cardicelli putting out content left and right at SactownSports.com. And Chris
Come on, guys.
Watkins,
Thank you.
who is here in studio. He'll be live also tomorrow, 11 a.m. for Kings
No,
Weekly.
we're actually going to
That's
re-air
going to
this.
Re-air this instead.
This,
yeah,
this
yeah.
hour that we're about to do.
Okay.
Hi, everyone in the future
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. How are we doing? It's been a crazy time. Oh, and by the way, De'Aaron Fox is named an NBA All-Star today.
Yeah, what a start to the day, first of all.
I mean,
Thank you.
I knew it was going to come at some point, but it just was so nice to see it happen, just to actually happen. Just getting that notification from Chris Haynes, I think, that the announcement from NBA Communications, the graphic, it looks so beautiful, so pretty.
I'm curious. That actually just drew my attention. Who do you guys have for your notifications, your tweet notifications? Do you have Chris? You said Chris. Do you actually have Chris Haynes
for the deadline? Haynes, Woj, Shams. That's pretty much it for basketball.
I have Woj and
That's all you
Shams.
need, I think, isn't it?
Mark Stein's a good one to have.
So, hey, Sam Amick, sorry.
Sam Amick?
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Sam.
No, I'll let him know. I'll let him know when we see him today.
Yeah,
I'll
should
just
we
say-
let
I
him
actually do have his notifications.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
I
just
will.
forgot. He has his
I
notifications
forgot.
now.
Most annoying thing about notifications, though, and I think every person can relate to this around free agency and around the deadline, is like you've got notifications on, and then like Woj retweets Jeff Passan saying that Yu Darvish has an extension, or like Shams is like, "Hey, I've got a FanDuel pick of the night," and you're like, I don't have your notifications on for this.
Thank you.
I have it on for trades, signings, and firings. That's it. Do not try to force feed me lame content.
It should allow you to filter that
Yep,
too. It
yep.
should be like, I only want notifications if it says breaking and or has the word trade in it.
Yes, I agree.
I think that's fair.
The Darvish thing was brutal. It really just was like, are
that
you
was tough.
right now? Can't you wait like an hour, Jeff? Come on.
Yes.
Big news though.
I
Yu
guess
Darvish.
he's like 35.
no one cares about you, Darvish.
He's gonna be 41, making like 18 million a year, and that deal is over. I mean, I don't care about that right now when there's an hour to the
Thank
deadline.
you.
Yeah, and I love baseball. I know
I
you
know,
don't
it's
love
like, I
baseball,
don't
Deuce,
care
but I
about
love baseball. But I didn't care at that moment. I want basketball news.
I have a complicated relationship with baseball. So
Oh.
that's what it is. I mean, I love going to the ballpark.
Yeah.
I going to the yard.
Well, what'll bring you back?
Oh no, but you won't watch. That's what it is. You won't watch on TV,
So
right?
you know, like when cars first came out,
Doesn't watch
you know,
anymore.
You know, when cars first came out, like
No, I don't.
Wait, the
actually.
movie?
Life is
Oh,
a,
the cars.
Cars.
Life is a highway.
Wait,
like
no,
that?
no, no.
The
Yeah,
cars.
The
what do we-
vehicles,
the vehicle, like the
Yeah.
Ford,
Like an
the first
actual
Ford.
car.
No, I have no idea. I was not.
I think
alive.
we
We
have
were
to
not
talk
around.
to Jason for someone to remember when
Okay.
the cars first came
So
out.
I apparently you guys don't know anything that happened prior to your birth, and that's
No,
fine.
literally nothing.
I'm a bit of a historian. But like, you know, wheels were different. You know, there was like manual transmission.
Oh, I see what
It's
you're
like
saying.
everything was so clunky. And then like evolves, you got automatic, and now you got electric. Like baseball is still that old clunky car. That's just
Okay.
like, no, hey, I'm telling you, this is beautiful, beautiful game we got here. Oh, it's so fun. It's like, no, every game's 4 hours. It's
Right.
too long. It's the same game. Speed it up. Let's make it more exciting. It's boring.
They added a pitch clock.
Oh, 162 games. I'm done with it. All right, let's get to the Kings. Kings Roundtable. We've had 24 hours to process the NBA trade deadline. I think a lot of us were surprised the Kings did not end up making a move on deadline day. Your reaction to what the Kings did not do at the deadline? Were you surprised they didn't make a move, and should they have?
I think when you're seeing teams around the Kings make moves, it kind of makes it feel a little bit worse than it actually was. And I think coming into the deadline, obviously didn't anticipate Kevin Durant being moved, especially not to the Pacific Division. So that obviously makes you feel bad off the gate. But I guess when the dust settled and I saw the Kings didn't make any moves, I felt bad and felt like they needed to do more. But you sleep on it, the emotions kind of calm down. And you think, well, this team does need some help on the defensive end. They needed more length. They needed a big to kind of back up Sabonis, because if I always knock on wood, if he were to go down for any time, they'd be in huge trouble. The rebounding's brutal already. So while those moves would have been nice, they do have the depth to, in my opinion, be a top 6 team in the West. And you don't know what's going to happen with teams like Phoenix. You don't know what's going to happen with Dallas. You don't know what's going to happen with the Pelicans. Will Zion come back? The Lakers, who knows? And whoever knows with the Lakers. So it's something that at the time I felt bad about, but now I'm starting to think, okay, this team is good and they're confident. And that kind of speaks to how their chemistry has been this season and how much the coaching staff believes in them, how much Monte McNair, what he said today, how he wanted to keep this core group together. That was important to the team. And that's something I think is important, I mean, in general.
Yeah, I kind of feel like my big takeaway was just that this team feels comfortable where they're at right now. And I think a lot of people that don't want to hear that, I think it's fun and exciting to get the new players in and to get all that going. But the reality is, I mean, before the season started, I think playoffs would have been the goal for everybody. Yeah. And I think the team is definitely headed on that path. And they don't really see the reason to divert from that path unless they felt like they could make a real step. And so, you know, it really isn't fun and it's unfortunate. But I just think at the end of the day, the goal is playoffs. And they weren't going to make a move to make them a title contending team this year. And so, does that really explain them doing absolutely nothing? I don't think so, but I think they feel comfortable enough in the statements from Monty and from Jay Triano the other day on Cattles and Rami as well. It tells me that they really believe in the guys that are in their building, and they firmly believe that they have the depth to at least make the playoffs. I just think my big takeaway was they're not going to go for a championship this year, which shouldn't be a huge revelation to most. It just kind of was very much in the forefront of it.
And
I was just going to say, I think the one thing too with why I had a difficult time with that first was it was not only that maybe you didn't get some of the targets that we had talked about, a Plumlee, Thibault, Vanderbilt, some of those names. It was that those guys were actually moved, and they were moved to the Western Conference, right? So it was like you didn't just miss out on them. You missed out, and they went to teams that are fighting against you.
And not only did they go to teams that are fighting against you, they went for things that you possibly could have actually made happen. Second round picks. The Kings have plenty of those. You have pieces at the end of your bench that you're not even playing night in and night out. And I'm not even talking about Rashawn Holmes, because we know how difficult his contract is going to be to move now. No one was expecting this. There's still value in him, but at the same time, it's happening for a lot of teams. So when I saw everything that was going down yesterday at the trade deadline with the Western Conference, it was more like, I want to make these tweaks now, so then you're making the future better right now, right? And not waiting until the offseason, then you make these moves, then you try and see what you can do the next season. No. I want to try and elevate this team now, because otherwise you're already 2 steps behind all the other teams in the Western Conference.
It's going to be tough, but it was going to be tough before. I would have liked to have seen something minor, but I was not in the camp of, hey, go take a big swing at Siakam or OG. I'm like, no, because this is about building something long-term. And let's just say the Kings did something crazy and they're like, you know what? We are going to somehow give up some future picks, Keegan and something else to go get Siakam. Okay. Fox, Siakam, and Sabonis. Is that a championship team? I don't think so. I not at all. I mean, you wouldn't have the depth. I don't think that would all of a sudden take you to another level. I think you have to be smart about this. And although I would have liked a minor tweak, I like that Monty was like, I'm not going to give up anything crazy to go get something. The prices are super high right now, and I have to be deliberate. We have to also realize that Keegan should be able to get better over the next couple of years. What could Keegan turn into? And he's on a rookie contract. Get into the playoffs, be in the top 6, and grow this thing.
No, I agree. And again, the Keegan aspect of it too, I think we talked all week about how untouchable, or if he's untouchable, I think that it was on your untouchable list. Keegan?
Yes.
On your untouchable list. Well, now we have the answer. I mean, I'd imagine that there were conversations, and those conversations ended when Keegan's name was brought up. And again, he's 22 years old. They made the swing for the fences move last year, or they traded a player in Tyrese Halliburton who was around the same age and had years of control. But look where we are today. I mean, the Kings are in the 3rd spot in the West. They're in a good place, like you said. I'm not ringing the alarm bells just yet. I want to see how this team plays. I mean, tonight's going to be a nice test. And, of course, if Luka plays tomorrow on the second night of back-to-back for the Kings, another test. And it kind of is going to be interesting because the Kings have been so bad in second nights of the back against teams that are playing on the second night of back-to-back. But maybe it'll help if they're on a back-to-back themselves.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm curious what you guys think. Whoa.
We do have an update at this hour.
The deadline's over.
The Orlando Magic and Patrick Beverley are working through a contract buyout that clears the way for Beverley to choose among interested suitors, according to Shams.
No.
Shanghai Sharks, maybe.
Goodbye.
So we're talking about this.
The NBL.
No,
you're no.
No, I'm
For who?
For Patrick Beverley.
To come to who? Where? Here?
Yeah.
Patrick Beverley will not be in the NBA next year.
Oh, no, I'm even talking about this year, buyout market, anything. No.
Do I need a player who plays fake defense and can't make a shot?
No.
Damn.
Short answer.
I'm out.
Great answer.
What did Westbrook say? He's like, he tricks you guys. He's running around out there.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Don't let him.
Why are you even? Yeah.
Why are you want Patrick Beverley?
No,
in
I don't.
Sacramento?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's a no. I don't think that there's
You don't
any
think
chance.
you know?
No, I do know. I do
Thank
know.
you.
There's no chance that Patrick Beverly comes over here. There's no reason. He's a discount Davion. How about that?
Ooh. Okay.
You're going that far?
He's not even. He doesn't even get to be in the same sentence with Davion Mitchell, because Davion Mitchell actually has like fundamentals to his game. Pat Beverly
we are blasting
relies
right now.
on antics.
He's going to China. He's going to play with Jimmer Fredette next year.
Yeah.
I said that he's got a chance to continue his professional basketball journey in a different country.
You did not say it like that. You were talking smack, bro.
I literally said he has options, maybe with Shanghai Sharks or the NBL. I mean, he's got options.
That's a crazy narrative.
If I
spin.
said that you had options to get a job all over the world, you'd be like, oh, thank you. I'm saying the same thing about Beverly. Don't twist my words.
The way you said it.
Don't twist my words.
Your
now.
intent was vicious. It was not nice. Yeah.
You guys are sick.
You owe Pat Bev an apology.
Yes.
I apologize for believing in Pat Bev's basketball ability to play in different leagues. I mean, the versatility
my God.
League of his own almost.
should be acknowledged.
You disgust all of us.
We're going to have much more of the Kings Roundtable in 60 seconds on the radio side. We'll look ahead to Kings-Mavs. De'Aaron Fox is an all-star. It's the Kings Roundtable on Sactown Sports 1140. Oh, yes. Hey, what's up, YouTube chat?
I love that you played that for Patrick Beverly.
I mean, it's breaking news at this hour, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Breaking.
We're so
That wasn't
broken.
worth getting to.
Excited for.
I think I saw the other day too. Minnesota came out and was like, "We're not interested."
Not doing that
And,
again.
like I know everyone was like excited for him to return
You know,
the playing thing, but
I think
we don't
some
want
guys like him, but he's not a real nice person from my understanding.
But the meme factor,
Yeah.
like
Aren't
that's
you a
why
big
Minnesota
dog
doesn't
guy?
want him back. It's like we get clowned every day because of him jumping on the table, acting like they won the finals.
Ryan says Beverly worse than Davion. You guys are crazy. Here's the difference. Davion can guard. Look at the efficiency numbers this year. Davion is a better player now. This is not Pat Bev from like 2014. Like, what are we talking about
And
here?
not only that, though, I mean, you have to understand, just because Patrick Beverly has like veteran reputation and experience and maybe is going to play more minutes on a lot of different teams, but maybe not after he has to go to China, like Deuce is saying, to play.
What are we going to
professional
do?
career.
What are we going to do, though, if it was like, hey, Kings
No.
waived Dellavedova and added Beverly, and we just
They wouldn't.
absolutely dumped on Beverly for about 90 seconds?
I would say clip it and send it to him. I don't care. Like, no, and I'm not mean toward players. Patrick Beverly is someone that I have.
I stand by.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Kings and Mavericks, back-to-back nights. I can't wait tonight. It's such a big weekend. You got the Super Bowl Sunday, Kings-Mavs tonight and tomorrow night. No Luka tonight. Could he play tomorrow? We'll find out. It's Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, Chris Watkins, and Frankie Cardicelli doing a little Kings Roundtable post-trade deadline edition. Kings and Mavericks tonight is going to be interesting. I am really eager to see kind of how the Kings look after this road trip, because although they went 4-3, Fox did miss a couple of games during that stretch too. You know, the shooting, it looks like they had some tired legs out there. Some of the defensive stuff we saw against Houston wasn't great. What type of Kings team do you think we're going to see?
Well, really quick too, you guys, against the Mavs, this is the first time that the Kings are playing the Mavs this season.
Yeah.
So think about when the Kings went to Minnesota and they're taking on the Timberwolves for the first time. They lost, and it just wasn't a pretty game, right? It looked like, oh, they needed to catch one of those games under their belt to understand what type of, I don't know, performance they really needed to play against that squad, against those pieces. This Mavs team is obviously very different than what it was since the trade deadline, but it's still one of those teams that they haven't seen. What are you expecting against them?
I mean, yeah, they have to figure it out. I mean, the Mavericks here are trying to figure out their own identity, which is very interesting. And that's why the Luka aspect of it was going to be even more interesting to me, because I want to see how this duo works. And now we kind of have to wait for that, and we'll see it at some point. But the Kings, in my opinion, they need to come out and make a statement tonight, because these games matter. They're pretty significant. When you look at the West, how tight things are, I think there will be some tiebreaker scenarios this year. And coming out and making a statement against a team that you could be near or tied with at the end of the year, there are those situations that could happen. The 3-point shot too. I mean, I was looking today. Dallas takes a lot of 3-pointers. They shoot a lot of threes. Now, of course, some of those guys aren't here anymore. Dorian Finney-Smith is not here anymore. Spencer Dinwiddie's gone. So Kyrie Irving subs in. Guys are shooting 45% from 3 over the past month. I mean, the Kings need to make a statement and shut him down. But if they can't, we've seen what can happen, especially in back-to-backs.
Yeah, and they just won in Kyrie's debut the other night without Luka too, and that was a Clippers team at full strength. So like you can't ignore that. And the Kings going into tonight have a 2-game lead on Dallas, 2 games up on the Clippers, 2.5 on the Suns, and just 3 games up on the Pelicans and T-Wolves. So, I mean, the difference between 3 and 8 is 3 games. The difference between 3 and 9, 3.5. The difference between 3 and 10 is 4.5. It's tight, and it could change fast. I mean, you win these 2 games against Dallas this weekend, it would be huge. I mean,
push them down a little,
way down. You have a 4-game lead on them. I mean, it's pretty significant. Minimum, you just can't. You have to split.
You have to split.
You have to split.
And I think we're at that point. We can say half. I know the must win thing. I know you don't like using that much.
I hate the must win.
I'm not saying it's a must win, but I think you must split. So one of them have to be a must win.
So if they don't lose, if they don't split, the season's over.
It's over.
Correct.
No, it's not over.
So if they lose
joking.
tonight, then tomorrow's.
I'll just say,
good job.
Yes. If you lose both to a team that's also shorthanded tonight, and the Kings, they lose shorthanded game after shorthanded game. It's just,
correct.
I'm at the point where I need to see them prove they can take advantage of a team that's missing some guys. They have not been able to do it. I don't think in the past 2 years. Yeah. Even last year, the Sixers game last year was one of the worst things I've ever seen. They were missing 6 players, the whole starting 5, and I think it was. I think Tyrese Maxey was making his it was like his welcome to the NBA party. That's where he didn't come out of the starting lineup again. But they need to take advantage of a team that's missing their best player, arguably the best player in the NBA. And I know that Kyrie's playing. Who's better than Luka, you think?
This year? So Luka's your MVP?
Joker, okay. I'm talking Joker is in a league of his own.
Okay.
Then it's got to be Luka.
Giannis is pretty good. Jason Tatum's
I was
pretty
gonna say
good.
Tatum.
I think Luka's,
or just in general,
I think Luka's in the top 2.
Here's I love this Luka breakdown. My I don't even want to call it a knock. My analysis on Luka Doncic is what an incredible individual. I mean, unique, talented, the way that he can not only pass off the dribble, shoot from the outside, create and draw a foul, all these things. Great. But I always say this, it's a team sport. And are you making everyone better? Sometimes you are just by the amount of attention that you're drawing, right? And sometimes you are because of the way that he is capable of passing the basketball. But at the same time, when the ball stops and the game keeps flowing, it's just like he doesn't have that feel for that part of the game yet.
Well, it's ISO heavy. And I think that's where I'm interested to see how this works with these 2 guys, right? Because
they're both ISO heavy.
Yeah,
it could be, but it could be great for Luka too, right? If and Kyrie can play off ball, he's capable of it. But there's a lot of isolation basketball, but that could take pressure off Luka. I think in the past, although he played with Brunson, I never felt like Brunson was like a number 2, or Luka didn't view him as that. You know, when Luka missed those games in the playoffs against Utah, Brunson took over. They won playoff games with Brunson kind of leading the way.
Got himself a contract.
Yeah.
Got himself a big contract.
Yeah. And so I am curious, I think Luka respects Kyrie. I think Luka views Kyrie more to his level than maybe he did Brunson, and that maybe he would be more willing to give up the ball and understand that it's good for him and the team.
Well, the defensive aspect, though. Sorry, I mean,
no, you're good.
They trade Dinwiddie and Finney-Smith, who I think those are 2 of their best defenders. What is that going to do for Dallas? I mean, I know they did.
They're not going to guard anybody.
Yeah, I know they did fine against the Clippers, but that has to change their identity at least. I mean, significantly.
Right. I mean, I think those 2, Luka and Kyrie, if they play. I think that there's a large possibility that things don't go well between the 2, and it is a lot of ISO ball and my turn, your turn. Luka leads the league in usage percentage and has 4 of the highest usage percentages of all time. This is not just sharing time with KD. It's Luka's show, and then everybody else, like you guys have mentioned. But even if it is those 2 working well together, is those 2 enough? that's been my problem with Dallas is even when before this trade was done, I didn't feel like they had enough surrounding Luka to really be a legitimate contender. Then you take away what I would say their two most impactful players in terms of success in Dorian Finney-Smith, who's a terrific wing defender who everyone would love to have on their team, and Spencer Dinwiddie, who was the replacement for Jalen Brunson. Like, I just what is Norm or Dwight Powell, whichever Powell they have, Dwight Powell putting the fear of God in your heart is who else? Reggie Bullock, is he scaring you in a playoff series?
Tim Hardaway Jr.
Love me some Tim Hardaway.
He can get
Jr.
buckets, but we know he's streaky.
Right.
Hey, Christian
he's
Wood.
also coming off the bench at that point. Christian Wood, they tried to ship off at the deadline.
Which is weird. He's still there. And then last game against the Clippers, he came off the bench. He only played him 17
He's been
minutes.
playing off the bench
and that's
on and off.
It's a weird team. It is. And I think, especially an NBA conversation, it's, on social media and then on the ESPN shows, it's already, are they the best duo in the NBA? Where do they rank all time backcourt duos? Cubans gassing them up. And it's like one, you got to see it. But I agree with you, Chris. Like, I don't trust that team. I don't believe it's a team that's going to do much damage come playoff time. I think they're going to struggle a lot defensively. And, the Kings do struggle too, but I think the Kings have far more offensive firepower. So I know Kings fans were, some were a little upset that the Kings didn't do anything significant yesterday, but like Dallas got a better player
they got
to add with
end
Luka,
better,
but they're not a better team in my opinion. You're right. Finney-Smith was very important to what they were doing and Dinwiddie was having a great year.
Yeah.
No. I just don't think it's going to be something that we see which is so funny that I'm saying this with so much confidence when I do talk about, like, I don't think it's something that we're going to see work out in a postseason, right? But you think about a team and how they need to be defensively. We already know the Kings need that, but our expectations are for the Kings just to get into the playoffs and then have the experience, right? And I don't care how bad or how good it is, have the experience under your belt, break the curse, all that crap. But then when it comes to the Suns, for example, with them, you look at some of these players that are on this squad and you go, okay, they have rim protection, they have defense, they have guys that are willing and wanting to make each other better. Right. And that's why I think we speak so highly of that squad. And also I think because of Kevin Durant is just like a different beast, right? Where Kyrie, it's going to be honeymoon stage for a little bit, but high usage with the basketball, can get his own, but what is he going to be like with this type of team?
And sometimes it's just it's a number. Okay, let's say Kyrie and Luka both go insane. They go nuclear. Each score 35 points a game.
Yeah.
That's 70.
Yeah.
Who's getting you the other?
You got to have
40?
some help and some balance, especially come playoff time. I think even Barkley last night on TNT was like, look, I like that what the Suns did, but do they have enough depth? I mean, if you're saying that about the Suns, then you have to absolutely be saying that about the Dallas Mavericks. Right. And that's where you look at the Kings, even though sometimes, I think sometimes I think Kings fans are too critical with the depth on this team. Some people their bench has not been consistent. It's like, guys, it's a bench. There's a reason they're bench guys. Some nights they got it, sometimes they don't. But I think Monk's been pretty good this year. The efficiency from three hasn't been great, but he's starting to play better. Trey Lyles has been pretty good this year. Davion, I feel like they have trouble finding out where he is with the group. Anyway, we got to talk more about where the Kings are at. Also, De'Aaron Fox was named an All-Star today. We'll talk about that next. It's the Kings Roundtable. Deuce Mo, Chris Watkins, and Frankie Cardicelli on Sactown Sports.
One name.
Deuce Mo.
Deuce Mo.
Deuce Mo.
Chris Frankie.
Chris Frankie.
There's a Chris Frankie. Huh?
I will say it weirds me out because I went to school with a Chris Frankie.
No,
when I hear Chris Frankie, that's who I think of.
Wait, was it one name?
Yeah, his name was Chris Frankie.
No,
it's not. Wait, one name?
Why would I lie about that? His first name was Chris.
You
his last
literally
name was
lie
Frankie.
about things all the time.
Yeah.
I come up with better lies than that.
Did your dad listen to the show the other day? Did he have any harsh words for my?
No, I actually don't know. Actually, don't know. I remember listening to your show back years ago.
Yeah.
You and your dad.
Years ago.
Me and my dad also don't talk that much.
Let's not do
everybody.
This,
oh, okay.
Let's not do this.
Okay.
Oh my God.
It's not a touchy subject. We talk. We talk. We're cool, but we just haven't seen each other in a while.
So he probably wasn't listening.
He might have listened.
Oh,
he might have.
wow.
He's a nice guy, but
It's more
haven't
than
seen him in a while.
more than
So-
your dad.
Kind of a deadbeat in a way.
I don't know about that. But let's just say we've moved on to different parts of life.
Okay.
Frankie's so nice compared
I
to
know.
you.
Well, I haven't talked to my parents in years.
Ah.
I'm kind of an orphan in a way.
Is that, are you?
No,
are you-
he's
are you
serious.
late?
This is serious.
Really?
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
talked to my parents in years. No.
Really?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to get how it is for one of them.
It's
so.
it's by choice, you know. I just don't.
Right.
The bad thing with you and me, Deuce, is that whenever we start to say something serious,
Right.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Oh yeah.
Take it serious.
And it's so funny because I've been talking about how perfect my parents are on this show. And so then Deuce and Chris come in and they like drop all these other things to make me feel bad that I have.
That's why the other day on Jason's show, I was saying at the end of on the crossover on his hour,
What?
when you're talking about LeBron, I thought it was so cool. His kids were there, and like,
Yeah.
oh, imagine if LeBron was your dad. I was like, yeah, I would 100% trade my dad for LeBron to be
Yeah.
my dad. But I was making the case. I think a lot of people would trade their dad for LeBron.
And I said I
to be their-
wouldn't. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you know the answer.
I will plead the fifth on
See,
the
he would
case that my
consider.
father
You
is
would.
potentially listening.
Well, my father died, so
Oh, so you wouldn't?
Well, I think
Look
now
what you
you make
started
the, you
from.
would
Yeah,
you would
great.
make
Oh,
no
God.
Chris
I didn't do anything.
Chris would make that trade now
yeah.
because he's dead. I mean, you would be trading
Can I
a body
opt out
for
of this
LeBron.
conversation?
It's not.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's a no-brainer.
You
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
this up,
Literally,
Morgan.
but-
This makes me even feel worse that my parents are so amazing.
Okay,
Same.
would you trade?
should be
pri-
ashamed. You
your-
should be
would you
ashamed.
I
trade
know.
your prime?
my mom's incredible. I love
Your
my mom.
prime-
I don't want to do this game anymore.
No, I want to.
I was asking a question. I was going to ask if Chris would trade his dad in his prime for LeBron.
LeBron in his prime?
Chat, what the hell are you guys talking about?
I'm so scared.
Play this.
Chat real fast before we get back to King stuff. When we get back from the break, be honest with yourself. You could trade your dad right now for LeBron to be your dad. Like he would be your dad. You would. Your dad would be
LeDad.
Then here's the
LeBron
other question:
James.
Do we have to change our age?
No.
No, you're just you.
Okay.
Okay,
adopt
so then
you.
my dad is like 2 months younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, it still works.
Yeah. And then you just be Chris Verlaud. You wouldn't be Chris James.
No, he would be. Well, I
No,
guess.
no, because
Right.
adopted.
Right.
Adopted.
LaChris Laud. You can play with some Kings Weekly tomorrow.
Kevy says this is a
He's
weird
old.
question. Are you really playing some of this on Kings Weekly tomorrow? Is
Yeah,
this-
no,
not
not
this.
this, but the segment is
Oh.
the entire show. Like we're just
Oh.
cutting the breaks
Oh,
and then we're
wow,
gonna air
wow.
that.
Oh no, you got to keep this in there.
Yeah, this is great.
We can maybe play it on the YouTube stream.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so great.
Oh, that's a good. Does Bronny get our fathers?
No,
It's like, is it? It's a
I want
trade.
my
You're
dad.
saying it's a trade.
Dad
No,
for
that
dad?
no.
No, it's
We're
an
gonna-
add-on.
Yeah, that's you're just making.
Those are your brothers now.
Yeah, you now have more
Oh.
siblings and or a sibling.
Interesting. I would hate to be the worst one in my family at basketball, though. I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
because
you-
then you're like the artist, and everyone's just like, "Oh man,
You're just sitting.
That's
sit at-
true.
go to
Wait,
any
I'm
game
rich.
you
What am
want.
I talking
Yeah.
about?
You go to-
Nothing matters.
Go to any
Nothing.
NBA
Yeah.
game you
Yeah.
want.
For the rest
Courtside.
of your
Right.
life.
Hey, who are you?
Right.
Oh, I'm LeBron's,
LeBron's
son.
son.
Yeah.
I'm the other
Chris,
son."
I'm Chris Watkins. LeBron.
You want
LeBron's son.
you want to work in an NBA front office?
That's true.
Anything.
Lakers.
Sure.
You want
Dad's
a
already
job
running.
with NBA TV? Like,
no,
who
I
got
think you would be in the Las Vegas front office."
Right.
Do you want a
Actually,
job
good
with
point.
Nike? Do you want a job with
what do you want?
TNT? Do you want a
Yeah.
job with
Literally.
anything you want?
Nepotism is.
I can tell you this: your guys' dads would not be able to do any of that for you. And so,
Point. My dad's a
again,
state worker, not love
Yeah.
state worker.
Great
keeps the
benefits.
state going. Great
Yeah.
benefits.
Oh my God.
Great benefits.
you got a
But,
name there, but
You know,
it's 9 to 5.
Courtside?
Yeah, stand by.
Remember, you don't have to be rich and famous to shop at Sharif's.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Laud with your
Thank you.
Sactown Sports Friday chill update.
Oh, so glad that stupid rock song's
I
gone.
hate it.
De'Aaron Fox is an all-star with Demonis Sabonis.
Yeah, he is.
Kings play the Mavs tonight and tomorrow.
Mm.
Luka most likely out tonight.
Bye.
Super Bowl is Sunday with the Eagles and Chiefs.
Oh yes, it is.
You can listen to the game right here on Sactown Sports pregame at 11.
Whoa.
Now it's
Not
time to
till
go
3.
back to Deuce and Mo Their Kings Roundtable with Chris Watkins. Your favorite.
Don't say it.
Kings Cowboy.
Don't.
Frankie Cardicelli.
Frankie James.
That's going to be on my tombstone at this point.
It's Deuce and Mo.
Deuce and Mo.
Sactown Sports.
This cracks me up. Chris said Super Bowl pregame at 11. The game kicks off at 3:30. It's just insane. Like you wake up tomorrow at 8. It's like, hey, the pregame show.
It's been 2
And
weeks
they're
of pregame.
so bad. Like pregame coverage for the Super Bowl specifically is the worst.
They have
It's terrible, but at 11 o'clock on Sunday, you're going to have the best pregame.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no,
but if
not
you
the
turn-
radio pregame, of course.
If you
Not
turn
the
on
radio.
Fox, they're gonna have like some country band that's like not really relevant. They're like, hey, you
Right.
take the stage at like 10, like 10 a.m. They're not gonna have anyone good.
No.
I mean, halftime's that's what we need.
Yeah.
All we need is halftime. Just
Rihanna.
Yeah, that's
Can't wait for that.
Shout out Sean Cunningham, by the way.
Wow.
He loves
Sean
big
loves
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Oh, yeah,
a little
he's
too
the
much Sean
best.
Cunningham talk today on the show. I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
honest. Like I mentioned him many times.
I've mentioned him.
Well, I said, Buzz from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Have you seen what Buzz looks like in 2023?
I have, yeah.
They're the same person.
Never seen the same place at
Exactly.
Same time.
Well, yeah, but I think he's currently in prison now.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what's
good cover?
Yeah.
I think it's domestic violence for Buzz.
I don't know.
Are you
if that is-
serious?
if
Yeah.
that was-
What?
Yeah.
I think that I don't know.
Huge.
I think that was
huge
it.
L.
I'd have to look that up. Anyway, Kings Roundtable, guys.
Yeah.
Kings Roundtable, Deuce Mason, Morgan Reagan, Chris Watkins, and Frankie Cardicelli. De'Aaron Fox has been named to the All-Star team, which I think we were all a little surprised when he did not make the team, but ultimately he gets in. It counts. He's an All-Star. Adam Silver names him an injury replacement. What has jumped out to you about what De'Aaron has been able to do this season? Chris, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just like a polishing of his game, just like an overall rounding out of his game. Like he's always been great at attacking the rim. This season, he's like one of the best guards at the rim. His free throw shooting's better. It feels like his mid-range jump shot is just automatic. He's had clutch moments in the past, and this is kind of linked to team success as well, but wasn't really known for being that fourth quarter clutch guy. This season, he's been that fourth quarter clutch guy. And then you see him also taking on a little bit more responsibility defensively as well. I just think it's a little bit of everything is a lot better for De'Aaron. And the team success also plays a huge part into All-Star.
The clutch factor is, to me, I mean, we've seen him do it before. Or when his rookie season, he had the shot against the Sixers. He had the dunk in Miami.
Oh,
He's had
yep.
moments. But this year, we've fully seen him just take that leap into, I am a premier closer in the NBA. And the NBA is taking notice. He's the front runner for the award, the Jerry West Award. It's called the Clutch Player Award. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The Clutch Player Jerry West Award. He's the front runner for that. I mean, the shot, the mid-range looks great. That's been consistent, which is something I think that's been a part of his game he's been looking for. The distribution is there. He's 6 assists per game. Him and Sabonis have played so well off each other. It just shows like how valuable he is, how valuable this duo is, and how great they are off each other. I mean, Sabonis and Fox, they play off each other so well. And Monte McNair, I mean, deserves a little bit of a credit for that. He deserves some credit for
Isn't it weird, by the way, you mentioned Jerry West, that we give him the Clutch Award. He already has a logo.
Right.
You know, he won at Finals MVP
When they lost.
when they lost to the Celtics.
That's insane.
How clutch is that?
I
You
mean,
lost, right?
Is it that? I mean, really, really
didn't
think
he-
about
I
that.
think he hit like a half court or a full court shot. To like,
I'm not going to throw shit at
Didn't
Jerry
he
West.
lose the
he
finals like
technically-
7
yeah,
times?
He lost the finals.
Is he just like a little bit better than Pat Beverly? Is that what we're trying to say?
We're comparing Jerry West to Pat
Right.
Beverly. Okay, the new logo. It's gonna be Pat Beverly showing the camera to the referee.
Who
That's the
should
NBA
have? I
logo.
mean, it can't be Michael. Like Michael's got probably an MVP named after him.
Look, people
I'm
always
just
talk
curious.
about changing the logo. Unnecessary. It's not a big deal. It's a logo. We're
And
worried
it's a
about.
really good logo.
It's a great
it's a
logo.
good logo. It could
Yeah.
be any. It could be anybody.
That's
Can it? Yeah.
Just driven the basketball.
Oh, coming from Frankie over
Come on,
here.
was that perfect form?
Yeah, it definitely
Anyone.
looks like a dorky white guy logo. It definitely does. It definitely. It looks
Well,
like
well, it is.
It's me in short shorts.
You can tell
Appreciate-
his shorts he's wearing.
Appreciate everyone watching us on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140. How about us hitting 421 thumbs up?
Let's
It helps the
go.
channel grow. Make sure to keep hitting that thumbs up. Let's get to 450. Of course, Frankie and Chris are here. Domas Sabonis was here earlier. All guests come to you via Folsom Lake Honda. Whether it's the hotline or in studio, Folsom Lake Honda Your one-stop Honda shop. Thank you. De'Aaron Fox, back to him for a second. What's the next step for him to even go to another level?
Well, I love the way that you described his game with the leap that he's taken, just so much more polished, right? And then you talk about him in his clutch moments, and how many times whenever we talk about players, we talk about like when it matters most, what are they like when it matters most? It's a different type of mentality. It takes a different type of player to push through fatigue, to push through it all mentally. And De'Aaron Fox has been able to do that at a high level and consistently now. I think that was the other knock that we had on him for so long, was the consistency of it. It's like we see these flashes, but when is it going to be there? I would say the next thing that he just needs to do is play with that intense defense consistently. I think he does. Like he's taken
so much better.
And that's why I don't want to sit here and be like, it still needs to be better. No, it's been so much better. We saw what he was doing even on Jalen Green when he was up in him, got that steal toward the end of the game to get that easy too. You know, he has those moments. I just think it can even get better, which excites me.
Right. I mean, he still hasn't really developed that three. We've seen that 3-point shot come along.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's had spurts where it's looked like it's there, and then it kind of regresses. And even now, I think he's back to like 32%. But, you know, he's still really young in his career, 24, 25 years old. And he's got a lot of time to figure that thing out. And if he can get that 3-point shot down while still being as explosive and as dominant as he is around the rim, it's kind of end game at that point.
How excited are you guys, by the way? You guys are going to be in Salt Lake City for All-Star Weekend covering the events for Sactown Sports. All that coverage is going to be on SactownSports.com on the YouTube page, right? You guys have a lot of stuff going on. I mean, you can see Fox, Sabonis, Keegan. Sounds like
Potentially
Herter.
Kevin Herter?
Herter, the three-point shootout. There's some talk about
there.
That was a very weird.
there.
De'Aaron today at practice or at shoot around, it seemed like he already thought it was a done deal, but Kings PR said it's not a done deal.
Okay.
We do not know if he's going or not. But that was right when I think it was Pat McAfee announced it was Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton that are in the 3-point shot.
Excuse me, wait. Who?
Yeah, Shams went on Pat McAfee today.
Okay.
Shams said it, not Pat McAfee.
Okay.
But on Pat McAfee.
Okay.
It's like
There you go. I was
football.
like-
And apparently Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Damian Lillard, and Anthony Simons.
Oh, so they're doing a team thing.
Yeah, maybe they are.
So it's got to be Keegan and Herter.
It should be.
100%.
It should be.
Oh God! And I can't wait for the.
Who's the true Splash
Oh,
Brothers?
Buddy's gonna be clanking left and right. Oh, I can't wait.
Oh,
I
You don't think
can't
the
wait.
Didn't he win before?
Yeah, he's
with
won
the Kings,
before.
he did, yeah.
Isn't it funny that you say it like that and it just didn't even feel special? Like
Right.
there was nothing. It was
Yeah,
like,
like we all know Peja won a 3-point
Cute.
shootout. We all remember that. That
Yeah.
was great times. Buddy Hield. You remember Ben McLemore? Did he win?
He had the dunk
Did he get
contest.
second? Did he win?
Oh yeah, didn't he dunk over
He
Shaq?
dunked over
Shaq,
Shaq.
yeah.
with
He
the
dunked over
throne.
Shaq.
One of the worst dunk contests.
You know he can't palm a basketball.
I can palm a basketball.
Here's
which also explained a lot to me.
Let me say that though. I'm excited. I'm so excited and so lucky that we get to go to All-Star
Right, the
Weekend.
question.
But I'm a little afraid
Ooh.
of the dunk contest because it was. I think last year was arguably, or maybe not even arguably, it was the worst dunk contest ever.
Can't tell you a single
last
thing about
year.
Just to be clear, you're afraid. Like what?
I'm afraid it's gonna be
terrified of it.
disappointing.
Of
Not
getting,
afraid.
of getting dunked on.
Yeah,
You're like, come on, Frank, it's okay, it's all
And
right.
then there's gonna be a dunk gone wrong. Yeah, they're gonna put me in a Kia and someone's
What's he
gonna fall
doing in
the
that
Kia.
phone booth?
They just blindfold him and then he's out on the court. Oh! So scary.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's getting dunked
I just
on.
feel like it's gonna be a nightmare again. I don't know.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, what do
Shane
you?
is sharp.
What do
I'm
you?
excited.
He's
I-
out.
He's
He's
not
out.
dunking
Yeah,
anymore.
Yeah. What are you most
Sell my
looking
ticket.
forward
Mac
to?
McClung.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
That will be cool. Actually, I do like Mac McClung.
Yeah, that's
What are you most looking forward to? Is it seeing those guys? I mean, being there. You're gonna be there for the game?
Yes, yeah, we'll be there for everything. The rookie sophomore, we'll be there for All-Star Saturday.
Oh,
we'll be there for
man.
Sunday.
I think the G League
Celebrity game.
Celebrity game, yeah, and the G League game too. I think we're going to
But
everything.
I'm actually
Salvador.
playing in the celebrity game.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You made the cut this year.
Yeah, super celeb over
Dude,
here.
how fun would that be to do that?
What, to play in the celeb game?
Yeah.
Oh
He
my
got
God.
Michael Sarah's invitation.
Yeah. God damn it, Chris.
Whoa, Sarah can ball.
All right, we'll have more of the Kings Roundtable coming up. What did I want to get to? Oh, you guys were both at Monte McNair's press conference.
Yes.
Let's
All right.
talk about what he had to say or didn't say. And could the Kings be a player on the buyout market? We'll do that coming up next on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, man, he dropped out.
I didn't know that. When did that happen?
He's going to focus on the last part of the season.
Very, very focused on the last part of the
That's,
season.
Well, I
that's
mean,
literally what he said.
think about all the focus that goes into the dunk contest. I mean,
Yeah.
you
got to stay after practice.
He
and
wasn't. I'm pretty sure he wasn't picked in the Rising Stars game too.
So he would have to flown out to Utah just to do the dunk
You're
contest.
not going to the Rising Stars.
Right.
I'm not going to the dunk contest.
So who is it? It's Mac McClung. It's somebody else who KJ Martin, right?
He's dude. He
That'd
got
be cool.
We didn't.
Jericho
let's-
Sims.
KJ Martin.
Let's.
Did he dunk on Sabonis like 3
I was
times?
gonna say once he absolutely destroyed him. He tried to do it again. But if that was a Sacramento King, we'd be like talking about that for 3 hours.
Yeah,
he got
Sabonis-
Sabonis.
Sabonis has gotten a couple times.
Why didn't you ask Sabonis
Dude,
when he
what
joined
would
us?
you do
Marketing
if-
earlier this year?
What would
Oh
you have
my
done if I was like, "Hey, Sabonis, so good to be"? Are you doing okay? Yeah. What do you mean? KJ destroyed you, bro.
Get off that.
How did that go? We didn't get to hear it
Dude,
because
it
we were
was-
at Monty.
Surprisingly, I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah. I did
He's
too.
a
Like
really nice guy. Seems like
he is, and like I know sometimes he'll just be like short, direct, boom. But like you could tell he was still being himself, but like also like sounded like he was okay being there. You know, like doing this phone call.
I would.
You know what I mean?
I would love to get to a point where we start. I mean, obviously not on the game day, but like these guys like coming in studio because it's just like when you're doing it in person, even
it's a
on
lot
video,
looser.
it's just such a different experience.
So different.
Where like they're a little more loose. I thought it was good. It's better than I thought it would be because, and not to say he's bad. It's just you guys have seen his press conferences. They last for like 3 minutes.
Right. I think it's tough, like you're saying, when it's over the phone, and I assume there's a
Yeah,
PR
yeah.
person over his shoulder.
Yeah.
And he's
Totally.
just, like kind of talking.
He seems like he's a shy guy.
Yeah,
He's soft spoken. Like so, not everybody's great. Like I mean, De'Aaron's someone who I think like is made for TV. Like he'll be on TV when his career's over.
Definitely.
He's so good at it, but not everybody is that comfortable.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
What am I hearing?
Music.
What is
I
this?
hear that too.
Like
Is that your computer, Maureen?
No.
Care Bear.
It sounds like
commercial?
I'm.
Oh,
so-
it's Chris.
My Little Pony
Are you playing something, Chris?
or Charmin.
Oh,
It
it's
is
just
a Charmin
It's a
commercial.
Charmin commercial.
Yeah. Oh, it's someone's headphones on there is on program.
I'm on audition.
It's probably Frankie. Just don't.
I'm too far to touch anything.
Oh,
Sorry,
Frankie.
it's throwing
Oh
me
my.
off.
This is
That's
It's like
unbelievable.
barely in my
Embarrassing.
ears, dude.
And I'm just like
What'd I do?
so.
Is it my fault?
No, I wouldn't know how to do it either.
I don't
so,
know. what any of
Yeah.
this is.
Someone mentioning Malik Monk. Yeah, Monk has had some nice jams this year. He has some sneaky ones. You're like, damn, how'd you get that?
Yeah, he just stays up in the air for like an extra 5 minutes and then goes, "What do I want to do?" He reminds me of like a cartoon character at times, where it's just like, "Let me think, drink some tea, blah blah blah." Oh,
Yeah,
dunk.
and then dunk.
Yeah.
Right. Got to be crazy, right? To just have that kind of vertical. Would you rather
Ooh,
like
great.
be able to like supreme throwdowns
Okay.
or Steph Curry kind of? I guess that's kind of a little too too good. Would you rather be like
I
a
like Steph Curry.
yeah? But that feels like obvious.
Yeah.
You
Well,
want to be
okay.
the greatest 3-point shooter of all time.
So throwdown,
Wow,
like,
throwing shade at Keegan Murray over there.
Yep.
hey,
Yep.
People don't realize how hard it is to dunk on somebody.
well,
To dunk on
but
someone, especially.
this is the other thing I was gonna say. I was always afraid, even in pool basketball, to
To dunk?
Yeah, I don't have the right mindset when it comes to dunking. I can't dunk on an 8-foot rim either. I have credit card hops, but like I could dunk, and it would be like a.
I've heard people say that it hurts.
That's why.
It
Like the
does.
I mean,
That's why
really,
Fox stopped.
Right?
That's why Fox stopped
Yeah.
dunking
It
too.
does
for a
hurt,
year.
dude.
it does. It hurts
It's-
like
yeah.
right here.
Yeah,
Don't
you put your arm in the rim.
Morgan, you know I can dunk.
On a Nerf ball hoop thing.
Okay,
Shut
a couple
up.
things. Could I dunk on 10 anymore?
No,
Anymore.
no, you never
Anymore.
could. You never could.
I have dunked on a 10.
No, you haven't. No,
Off a stool.
I don't care that there's 5 seconds. There better not be an update here because I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
the classic 145 up there.
Deuce and Mo on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, we're getting an argument off the air on this Kings roundtable. We're talking about, hey, would you rather be able to dunk on somebody or have like elite 3-point shooting skills? And then
Sure.
we're talking about the challenges of dunking. And I was like, yeah, it hurts kind of your wrist area. And Moins are laughing at me. Yeah,
I'm laughing at you because no, you've never dunked on a 10-foot hoop in
Okay.
your full crap.
Okay,
And you're lying to everyone.
Fisher Price doesn't count.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are
Frankie
so,
just said it.
You guys are so. At one point in my life,
You were dunking on an
I
8-foot rim.
I have dunked on a 10-foot before. I have dunked. I'm not saying I went up and did a windmill. I have been able to dunk a ball. It's like it's not a good dunk, but yeah, I have hurt my wrist when I've lowered a hoop to like 9. I've dunked on 9.
Yeah, wait, for sure.
Yeah.
You hurt your wrist like lowering with the lever
No.
thing, or from actually dunking the basketball?
You're full of crap too, because it's not like I know you've dunked on an 8-foot rim, but not because
Obviously, I can dunk on an
it was
8.
lowered, but because it was an 8-footer at a blacktop at a kid's playground.
Morgan, you have not
Deuce.
known me my whole life.
That's fine.
I have dunked on a 10-foot.
Okay, wait. So when did this happen? Like what age? What age are we talking?
Teenage years.
Witnesses.
I need more
High
high
school.
school.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay.
I can see 17-year-old Deuce like getting up and putting one down.
And you know what? You know what I'm going to start doing? I swear to God, I'm going to start training again for this.
Box
I'm going to
jumps.
start dunking. You guys are going to
Like the
learn
way,
your
Deuce,
lesson.
the way you're describing it, it's just like you weren't going like two-handed, just like jam it down, but you
A
got
little-
up,
little
put
jab.
it in.
Just a little jab.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I
That's
went
a
and
layup.
dunked.
Isn't there a hoop in the garage?
I can't do it right now.
It is
I'm not saying I could still do it
Okay,
right now.
could you do it in 3 months?
Yes, if I was active.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe that.
We don't have time.
I'm
for
6'1".
that, but-
I'm not like tiny.
No, I never said you
The
were.
one thing I think you do have going against you, Deuce, now compared to then, I think you've got a lot more mass than you did back then.
I'm sorry.
Like
You've
junk
got more
in the
mass.
trunk.
You got more. You
Muscle
got more
mass.
strength. You got more muscle.
Muscle.
I mean, that's
the
gonna be
muscle
harder.
mass is going to be a
Old
little
man
challenging.
fat.
That's gonna be harder.
Yeah,
like you got
Okay.
more in your frame
Oh.
to jump up.
That's a good point.
So you're gonna have to burn that off, bud.
No, it's muscle.
Oh.
All right. Monte McNair's press conference was today. Both of you, both Chris and Frankie, were out there for that. Anything jump out to you with what Monty had to say?
It just seems like he really likes this group. And I think when he was saying, and it was almost like what you would hear from the very brief, you don't see much come from the Kings front office as far as leaks go, or people saying things that are connected. But the one thing that people have been saying that are connected is they're going to be very protective. And Monty said that word protective today, that he wanted to be protective with this group. And I think when you look at the guys that possibly could have been moved, Harrison Barnes is the number one. I think that would have in a different year or any other situation, someone who's expiring and there's no extension talk yet. I mean, that's the person you probably would move in a bigger deal. And that's someone that we've talked about for weeks. And it just was a non-starter. They never have looked to move him. They didn't want to move him at all. And he said how important Harrison Barnes is to this team, both on the floor and even more importantly, off the floor. And that goes for the locker room too, how much they value him. So seeing him today kind of come out and just say this group is valuable to him and he's protecting them, it just kind of makes you feel like this team is on the verge of something special. And we know that they're in the playoff mix. We know that they have played well, but hopefully they have enough to go over the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, my big takeaway too was just kind of like I said at the start. I just think he really likes the guys that they have in the building right now, and he really believes that there are the pieces there to kind of put something together. I don't think they're trying to win a title this year. I think they see that this team has playoff potential. I think that they're just kind of in a wait and see mode. And then next year maybe I don't think they're going to come out and say it, but I think next year is maybe the year that they really feel like that's where we go attack things. And maybe this year we kind of play it out, see where our holes are, and then we can really address it because you'll get a really good idea of what kind of things you're missing. You know, if you go into a playoff series with no backup center, you're going to learn quick that, okay, even though Domantas Sabonis is going to play 40 minutes, it's kind of important that those minutes he's not on the floor are still good minutes. And, there's the defensive issues as well. I think that there was definitely things to address. It's just, I think that they're kind of just in a wait and see mode.
Do you think they could be a player on the buyout market? I know Monty did the classic, hey, it's 12-month-a-year job. So we're always looking to improve our team, but we're comfortable with where we're at. Do you think they could be a player on the buyout market? One, and are there any names potentially who could be out there that the Kings should look at?
I mean, the names aren't the best names, and I think I talked about it yesterday with Cattles and Rami, that the buyout market, I think players are going to kind of gravitate towards other teams, especially in the Eastern Conference that are near the top of the Sixers, the Celtics, then the Nuggets, they need help. All the top teams in those top 5, top 6 spots, that kind of leaves like a name to me. And I know it's not a popular name, but if they can't figure out the backup center position, Andre Drummond's a guy who's out there. I don't know if you want someone just as stand by the rim and just try to
Yeah.
do somewhat of a better job, because the Kings, they have zero rim protection, just zero behind Sabonis.
You see him try to Euro step the other guy.
The meme, it's there too. Like the
I
meme
did not
factor's there
see
too.
You got to weigh the meme factor for sure when you look at Drummond. One guy that could be out there is Will Barton. I like him.
Interesting.
I like him.
I really like Will Barton. And
But
too.
I'm wondering, if they like Kessler
Uh-huh.
Edwards, and I don't know if they're going to play him, but I mean, he has
a lot of what they could need.
ideal size at the
Yep.
wing position. And, I don't know what his role is going to be, but he has shown the ability to shoot the three, at least at the college level. I don't know.
Did we miss it, or did anyone not ask Monty about Kessler Edwards?
No one asked him about it. He briefly
I think he mentioned. I think he brought it up, maybe because no one was asking about it. I think he just brought it up. Like, yeah, we made the move to bring in Kessler.
We were, because even for us, I don't know, over the last couple of days, obviously, they got $2 million out of it, but you see this young player who last year saw more time on the floor because of the situation and was producing a little bit here and there. Long, lengthy guy that plays vertical, that has good feel for the game for a young guy. I don't know. I just think the Kings keep talking about wanting these long players. Why not develop one within your own system?
Yeah, I think.
And maybe that's not the answer, though.
Yeah, I just don't know how much minutes we expect him to get, especially down the stretch here. I think he's an intriguing prospect, but again, it's kind of like if you're, where do you insert his minutes?
Maybe it's not here though, but maybe it's like going into the offseason, or not the offseason, but going into next season, training camp, all those things. Like maybe his third year in the league, he just like develops into something different under the Kings the last half of the season.
I think too, and I've been guilty of this when we were looking at the buyout market. It's like, oh, they could just like waive him and then add someone. It's like, well, they could like buy out Alex Len.
Right.
Yeah.
They got cash back in that deal with the Nets.
Yep.
I mean, they got enough cash to cover the remainder of Kessler Edwards' deal this year. And they could reach a buyout agreement with someone like Alex Len, who's just not playing at all.
Yeah.
And he's in the final year of his contract. Dele Casey. There's ways for them to open up a roster spot.
Do you guys think that the Kings are a destination for the buyout
I do.
market, though? I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the thing is people have to decide that this is their best situation,
Sure.
the best situation for them individually.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, it depends. I mean, of course, I think Phoenix is going to be up there. Dallas could be up there for some teams, but I mean, if you're looking at what the Kings are doing, they play a fun style. They're in it.
Yep.
Like you have two all-stars now. I think it's more appealing than it's ever been.
Right.
Forbes has named Sacramento the best place to live in California.
Yeah, clearly, NBA players each day they go to Forbes and they, oh my God, the best towns are here.
Sign me up. Call Mike Brown right now.
Yeah. I think Mike Brown's likable too. So I actually do think they have a legit shot. Appreciate you guys being here. You guys will be at the game tonight. Actually, I don't know if
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Coverage on SactownSports.com. As always, Kings Weekly special episode tomorrow at 11 a.m. And we'll have full coverage next week. NBA All-Star Week. Let's go.
Let's go.
We'll be back Monday. Super Bowl recap. See what the Kings do this weekend. Cattles and Rami are coming up next. Check them out. YouTube.com/SactownSports1140. We love you guys, but we got to go.
See ya.